All right. Greetings, Vision Travelers, and welcome back. As a quick recap from last week, as usual. So, in your last session, your party had discovered the wanted posters within Neverwinter depicting bounties set out for both Warvel the Weevil and your own Uia Doobie. The party decided to take no immediate action upon making this discovery and headed straight to the Concussive Coin Tavern in the River District. The following morning, your party made the decision to visit the Hall of Justice to have a conversation about the bounty for Warvel the Weevil. Upon entering the Protector's Enclave district of the city and locating the Hall of Justice, you spoke to an assistant working within and retrieved some information about the bounties as well as Sir Laniver Strail's whereabouts. Your group took a bit of a detour immediately afterwards to locate and speak to the Arborist of Neverwinter, where, after nearly sparking an altercation, Nom Namo made a few friends in Frug, Glug, and Trug, the trees outside of the arborist's office. At this point, you made your way over to the Driftwood Tavern, where you finally met Sir Laniver Strail and his comrade Draelai. Sir Laniver discusses with you his concerns revolving around the fact that Lord Protector Daggelt Neverember has recently begun a partnership of sorts with Jarl Axel of Luskan, who has recently been assisting Neverwinter very heavily in their rebuild process in exchange for trade goods. Sir Laniver, working with the rebellious group Sons of Alagondar, has found that the men coming from Luskan utilize underground tunnels that no one in Neverwinter previously knew existed, and has agreed to arrange the passage of 7 more Luskan guards in a caravan that will be heading back to Luskan in the morning, and asked you to meet him in the House of 1,000 Faces at dawn to be disguised for the mission. We begin this session at early morning before sunrise and shortly after your party rejoining in the main tavern room at the Concussive Coin. The light patter of rain can still be heard on the roof and the windows, but the air in the tavern is otherwise quiet. What would you like to do?
We're all together in the tavern? Sorry, missed that last.
Yes.
Right.
Hey, when are we supposed to meet those dudes?
In the morning. It's morning now.
It's very early morning. It's dark. It's pre-sunrise.
Did we sleep all last night?
Yeah.
I said we just got up super early.
Yeah. You guys got back early enough, and last week we finished off with you guys heading off to your rooms relatively early. So we can assume long rest, and you guys are, well rested for the morning.
Okay. I think last thing I remember was Koros trying to tell me that I shouldn't come because I would be a liability, right?
Yeah, but we decided that everybody's going to go anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Which, as we slept on it and I wake up, I'm still not sure it's a good idea.
What's not a good idea?
Bringing Nom Namo.
Bringing Nom Namo to where? I just need my
Am
coffee.
I there?
Yeah, you're there.
I'm right here.
Yes, I see that. Look, I'm all for making a mess of things. It's kind of our habit. But I think the idea of this little whatever it is that we're doing is to stay quiet and stay unknown. And honestly, the less people that there are, the more likely we're to succeed in that. But obviously, if there are more of us there and something goes wrong, we're more able to take care of it.
Were you thinking about this all night?
I haven't slept very well. I also only sleep for 4 hours, so I had another extra 4 hours to think.
He was like a cat for like 4 days before we even knew who he was. I'm sure he'd be fine.
Yes.
Does anyone don't even have coffee around here?
Can he be a cat for 2 days straight?
I think he said like 4 hours.
3 hours.
Oh.
Twice a day.
I'll just use the same disguises as you, man. I can be quiet.
I think we decided that maybe he should follow my usual demeanor in moments like this of not speaking. So we'll have him next to me, and I think we can have him. He is capable of following my lead. Is that correct, Nom Nomo?
I can go without speaking. Didn't know when I was the spider, or when I was the cat,
Yes,
or
but
when
you
I
also
was the grizzly.
almost gave
Well,
away
you may have known
Ooey.
when I was the grizzly.
You were a spider?
Yeah, man, that's how I found the elves.
Oh.
All right, let's put it up to a vote. Who all should go?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This is hurting my heart a little bit.
Right. Less than 24 hours ago, you almost gave away Ooey.
You could say it's hurting your heart.
It's still fresh on my mind. But if everyone's willing to take the risk tonight, we can do it. Again, when I mentioned that there was 7 of us, he said that might be too much. He was more inclined to take 4 of us.
He also said,
One of the
I can
super
do that.
stealthiest.
All right, we're all
Who can
going.
do what?
We're all
Right.
going.
7 Musketeers.
Has a ring
What's
to it, doesn't it?
a musketeer?
Netherland. Don't worry about it.
I'm confused.
Okay.
Do we leave
let's
now
go.
or? Okay.
Yeah, let's
Shall we
go.
go to meet him? All right.
Yes, that they want to go to the
And
house
we've
of
made
God.
arrangements with the bartender to take care of Cyrac.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'll leave Bellis there
Did you,
as
did
well.
you mark him?
No.
Hmm.
You did. You marked him. Didn't you mark him when you knocked him out? When Edwin or Nom Nom knocked him out?
Hmm.
Or did you not?
No.
Oh yeah, I watched you draw the little swag ass on him.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you drew the swag. That's right. All right. So, you guys, upon successfully making this deliberation, head out of the Concussive Coin Inn and over to the House of a Thousand Faces, where Sir Laniver Strail had asked you to meet him. What do you do upon making it to the tavern?
I will lead the way to the room in the back to the right of the bar.
Okay. So you guys walk straight in. You basically just pass without really anyone taking any kind of direct look at you. The bartender kind of glances over, but then just goes right back to what she is doing behind the counter. As you walk into the back room, it's very similar to what you saw before in the Driftwood Tavern. Just a small room with Sir Laniver Strail and Draelai just having a conversation as you guys approach. And as you come inside, Sir Laniver turns to you. Hello, adventurers. Welcome back. I hope you had a good night's rest.
Some
Yes.
kind of night. It's still nighttime.
It's morning enough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is the 7 of us. Is the elf there?
Yes.
All right, so what's the plan?
Everyone step inside the room, close the door behind you, and we will get started here. So you guys step inside the room, close the door behind you, and Draelai walks over to a table that's behind him and pulls out a couple of different vials and little bags of components and things like that, and he begins casting a spell. And upon him turning back around, he basically casts the spell in kind of an area of effect type of thing, and consumes the 7 of you within the spell. And you watch as every single one of you begins to slowly kind of shape shift into a just standard humanoid form, somewhere between 5.5 feet to 6 feet tall. All of you slightly varying in height a little bit, your facial features varying to some degree, but all of you wearing kind of the same clothing. You're all wearing like cloth garments with some chainmail over top, and it completely changes everything that you're wearing, all of your weapons, everything that you're holding, down to a sword on your belt.
Yeah. Dude,
Obviously,
have I like actually physically changed? So
yes,
this is the tallest I've ever been.
The strangest. For
you've been a
those of
bear
you that are
before.
Not
That's
close
true.
to that.
I guess
height.
this wouldn't be that weird of a thing for me. Never mind. Because
Yeah.
all the shape shifting.
So all of you feel very at home in this new body that you've been given, but you notice as you speak, your voice is very much still the same as your normal voice.
Damn, I'm short and ugly.
I'm gonna still just be kind of behind to the side and behind Ash, and I'm just gonna be totally silent.
Hey,
Do I-
Dolly,
No,
Do I not have any fur
you have no
anymore?
fur. You have skin.
Oh man.
And Sir Lanover,
I'm going to
steps
look
forward.
around and notice the discomfort on a few of the faces and ask, are we all sure we're ready to do this? And
Yeah,
I'm going
I'm
to
ready.
specifically look at Ash.
I'll be all right.
And Lanover steps forward and says, now notice that you all look very similar to the guards that they've sent over from Luskin. Take a good look at each other. Make sure that you are aware of who is who, as you will fit in very well. And with that, you must be ready to fit in very well with them. I know not how Luskin Guard speak or act, but you must embody them the best that you can. If you hear anything you don't understand, just make a mental note of it and assume you'd already be aware. Any sign of your lack of belonging, and it's my head along with yours. There are enough of them in the group that you'll not likely want to make any brash moves when they're all present. Now, this disguise will last as long as it's needed, as long as you don't suffer too much physical damage or take on another shape of some sort. Drealai here will be concentrating on the spell, and provided he's able to continue concentrating, he will be able to sustain the spell as long as needed.
Did they change too?
The two that you're talking to, Drealai
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Lanover, no.
Where are you going to be?
We will remain here. Drealai will stay here to concentrate on the spell, and I will remain here to hopefully protect him should anything go awry here.
This is a very powerful spell.
Absolutely, it is. Drealai is a very powerful mage. Now, once you
Right.
depart, you need not necessarily make the entire journey to Luskin. If you're able to retrieve any information whatsoever, especially if you have any form of evidence of anything incriminating, or if there's anything connected to the Dark Elves you spoke of, return to me immediately. We have to get down to the bottom of what's going on here.
Is there a way to tell if this spell has like changed our like physical like our abilities to move and stuff like that, or
As far as you can tell, you feel yourself. You don't feel like you don't feel weaker or stronger than you were before. You just feel like you've kind of changed shape, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So it doesn't seem like you would have lost any or gained any physical ability.
And I can feel the shape, right? It's not like a illusion.
Yeah. Nothing fails to add up when you touch any of it or anything like that.
Okay.
As you would have like instinctually kind of, checked yourself out, and it all works. As part
Drealai,
of
maybe you could show me how to control my powers after this if I survive.
And you look over, and Draelai is basically just standing there, kind of motionless, and like he's staring off into nothing.
Mm.
And Laniver turns to you and says, Draelai will not be able to respond until the concentration is finished. He has also, as a part of the spell, cast a spell on you that will hopefully provide you vision in the dark in case you end up in the tunnels. Now, the underground tunnels are supposedly incredibly complicated. If they use the tunnels, please do your best to keep track of where you've been. I've sent many down there, and only one has ever returned, and quite frankly, not in the same mind. That being said, I cannot stress to you enough how dangerous this mission is going to be. I may have understated it yesterday, but your group seems vigilant, so if you're willing, I greatly respect your bravery. Please be ready and be careful. This caravan you're traveling with may not be the most dangerous thing you'll encounter if you should end up underground.
What types of things are underground?
I've never been down these tunnels myself. Like I said, I've only had one person that I've ever sent there return, and he seems to have lost much of who he was in the process.
All right. If there are any, so you're essentially just looking for any sort of evidence that might help you make a case against the leaders here.
This is correct. I have very high suspicion that this mission will uncover something, and should your group be successful in accompanying this caravan and returning alive, I believe we will be able to make that case.
If we, I'm gonna go to hey, if we see any parchments or anything like that that might have any information, you're going to be on point for picking those up, obviously.
Sounds good to me.
I'll be the one to sort of look into anything inside them or whatever. If I'll try to investigate it or whatever. Who and Edwin, why don't you go ahead and take point on any conversations that might come up?
Okay.
You have a way with words and convincing people of things.
Very well.
Okay, I think we're ready.
Very well. You will meet up with them at dawn, which should be likely within the next few minutes. The sun will be rising. So there is a specific location that you'll be meeting with them. There is down that way. He kind of points in a direction. Follow this road for about half a mile. There's a building. It's a single-story building. You couldn't miss it. It is decorated very differently than the rest of the buildings in the establishment, with metal engravings along the front side of the building. Just go straight inside, and you should be able to accompany the Luskan guards that are preparing themselves there.
Is there any kind of protocol that you know that they use when they're greeting or when they?
As far as I know, they're not the most friendly of groups. You should be able to just walk in, and the preparations they make should have been done ahead of time. So you should be able to just arrange yourselves at the meeting point and be ready to head out. I believe there's a total of 7 or 8 more guards that will be joining you.
Very well.
7 or 8 more total?
Yes, that is correct.
And just the 15 of us will be traveling.
Yes, that is correct.
It's quite a small caravan.
It
Should
is,
I-
and that's part of the reason that I'm suspicious. It's unlike the normal caravans that you would see traveling from city to city.
And the group of us aren't going to raise any suspicion. I feel like I'm just concerned with the size of this party. I assumed it would be much bigger.
It didn't raise any suspicion when I brought it up. It seems these groups are conjoined very frequently.
And we're not looking for information from this group of people about where we're going.
If you're able to find anything from this group without raising suspicion of your own lack of belonging, that would be sufficient. I don't know exactly how you'll do that, but
Right.
if you accompany them long enough, I would suppose you might be able to extract something.
Okay, that sounds good.
I would warn you to be cautious with your words, as I
Yes.
don't know what type of dialect or lingo they use, and anything that would advise them that you don't belong could be your death.
Right.
So maybe we don't use words.
Perhaps
Yeah,
we should
Adon, you hear
stick to
that?
using the swords while we can. I grab the sword. I can pull it out and of its sheath, right? It's
Yep.
Okay, functional. Okay.
Listen, as long as we don't have Adon talk, I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
Right. Again, if there's any talking to be had, Edwin, you should take the lead.
Yes, I totally can, but they have so far only spoken to us in their dialect that neither I nor you elves understand. I don't know that I could bring very much value other than nods and grunts.
You're talking about the language.
Yes,
I think when he speaks of the dialect, he means phrasings and such. And
That is correct. That is what I'm referring to. They do seem to speak common, at least any time I've been around them.
yeah, he's not talking about that Elvish language that we don't understand.
Okay.
Again,
Well,
out of all of us, I feel that you're probably the most persuasive.
I agree.
I will keep watch for any notes or anything that any of them might have, any commands, but we shouldn't ask them directly.
Should we have fake names, or should we just roll with what?
This is a good
what we're
question.
called?
Did you tell them who we are, or just
I did
that
not,
it's another group?
I did not give them names. I simply gave them a number.
Right.
Apparently, that is a regular occurrence within their ranks.
Did you tell them where we serve?
I told them you'd be accompanying the group back to Luskin. That is the extent of what I advised them.
All right. Well, it's a very small bit, but I suppose it'll be what we have.
I feel very underprepared for this. But you wanted to go after Jarl, Axel. And we might need to clear Ui's name by at least getting some information.
Well, yeah.
In the end, this could all clear his name if we're able to stop what's going on around here. Actually, it kind of sounds like killing that guy that you were meant to kill in the first place might clear your name, but we'll get
But that
to
would
that later.
be murder.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like the kind of guy that should be alive.
Listen, if Koros is backing me, I ain't questioning it.
Judge, jury, and executioner.
It's just from what I've gathered so far.
All right. Are
Well,
you guys
I'm
ready
gonna need you to do
to?
an in-depth
Yes,
assessment.
sun.
Are you guys
The,
ready to
the
head
sun
out?
is rising soon. We best
Yes, let's head out.
All
set
right.
off.
So you guys leave the House of a Thousand Faces where you met Sir Laniver and follow the road in the direction he advised you. And sure enough, you are able to find the building that he told you you would be able to meet with the departing caravan. As you walk up to the building and approach the interior, you head inside. You find that there is a group of men having an appearance similar to Luskan guards waiting. They look very much like you guys do. And you essentially just join their ranks, and they introduce themselves as Andrum and Damakos. Over the next several minutes, 5 more Luskan guards arrive and finish prepping their packs and their supplies. And one turns to your group at some point and says, you're the others traveling with us, and your names are?
My name is Dirk.
Smith.
Ash.
I try and like mimic their voice as I say
Okay.
it. I go, Krug.
Make a deception check.
Krug.
That's the name of the tree, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Close to one of them.
It is.
Natural 20.
Oh.
Yes.
oh,
And without
my
skipping a beat, he just
goodness.
carries right over you and looks at Edwin.
Dude.
Did you really roll that?
Natural 20.
Oh, man.
Yes, I'm Kelvar.
I'm Koros.
See, it's not so easy coming up with names on the spot, is it?
I never
Easy for
intended
me.
to.
He just kind of turns and
I see what you
Doesn't-
did there.
doesn't see anything strange with the names that you gave or anything like that. The rest of the group continues to just kind of finish prepping their satchels and getting everything ready. And as they finish preparing, you begin your journey as a group. They definitely don't speak much. They kind of just do what they're supposed to do without really having much conversation, and kind of just like they know what they're supposed to do, and then they just do it. So you guys begin your journey as a group. One seems to assume the point position, kind of leading the group as you guys leave that area, though the rest appear to know exactly where you're all headed. And you make your way east in the city towards the River District, between various buildings and through the streets. And as you're walking, the civilians that are walking the streets step out of your way as you walk by, seemingly showing some sort of simultaneous combination of respect and fear. Eventually, you reach what appears to be an abandoned building of some sort, possibly like an old tavern or something along those lines. As you guys are walking in, one of the guards looks to the guy that's in the lead and says, "Did you open it already?" And the guy in the lead turns back and says, "I just opened it within the last 100 hand fades." And the first guy, "Ha! Always ahead of the stream. This is why we always follow your lead." And then they walk into the building. You're brought through a series of rooms, and in the back of this abandoned building, you finally reach what looks to be a dead end. And the lead guard steps forward into what appears to be just an empty corner, reaches down and grabs onto a plank of the wood floor and lifts it up. And with that plank comes a section of the floor 5 feet in width, revealing a staircase below, which very quickly descends into total darkness. One by one, you all head down the staircase into the darkness with the rest of the group. The darkness drowns out all of your sight, even those of you with dark vision. But you continue step after step as the guards around you do. until seemingly in an instant you feel as though you walk right through the boundary of the darkness, and instantly you can see again. You're in what looks to be a cave with relatively flat stone ground and a curved ceiling overhead. Stalactites hanging from the ceiling periodically. The ceiling is 40 feet above you, and the walls an equal 40 feet apart from each other. The guards, without saying a word, just continue into the darkness of the tunnel. If you have someone who will be taking point on navigation to keep track of where you've been, let's choose who that's going to be now and make a survival check based
I'll
on
do that.
Oh, I've been writing it all down. Go for it.
I mean, is this like a right? Are you gonna tell us every step and then he can write
If
it all
you're-
down?
It's more of a. I'm
It's
not
just like
going to
a
verbally give you
check.
every
Yeah. Okay.
step.
Oh, okay.
Because you guys are going into like dark caves, so it's more of if you guys need to backtrack or keep track of where you've been. If anyone, and multiple people can do that if you want, but anyone who would be consciously trying to keep track of your path and where you've been, for the sake of backtracking, if you need to, just make a survival check and let me know
Yeah.
what that is.
I just rolled
Yeah, I'll probably do that as
I'll
well.
do it too.
overall. Okay. I got 21.
16.
Nope. 8.
You can't see anything with your one eye.
Rolled
Did
a
you
2.
do one, Namo?
Yeah, it's not worth mentioning.
Okay. So you guys kind of begin watching as you guys travel down, but you realize as you're making this journey, let me pull this down here. The travel continues for several hours, and the scenery rarely changes appearance, though periodically you see tunnels open up on one side or the other, and sometimes even creating like an equal fork in the path. And the guards, without hesitation and without referencing any kind of map or anything like that, just select a path and keep moving. And as that happens, Ash and Namo, you guys very quickly realize you're losing track of where you've been and start to lose track of
So
if you had to go back.
So I haven't lost track. I just stopped paying attention. Like I forgot. I started daydreaming.
I'm just looking at my skin.
I think that's called losing
Yeah, the
track.
ground.
It's just the method of how he lost track.
I sent you something, Tim. I probably wouldn't forget. I just stopped paying attention. I was kind of daydreaming. So
Okay. Give me one sec.
A little bit too much of that wake and bake, huh?
yeah. Too much herbal tea, man.
Wake and bake. Easy on.
Okay. So you guys continue moving. You see all those various forks in the path and different tunnels and things that get passed up, and the guards that you're following just don't hesitate. They just continue moving the way that they know they're supposed to go. Periodically, you'll see some small little holes in the ground as if something had kind of burrowed through the ground. And here and there, you'll see some pale gray mushrooms growing along the edges of the cave. Eventually,
I'm at the back, right? Said I'm in the back with Ash.
you can kind of be wherever you want to be.
Okay. I
would have been in the
planning on being
back.
quiet in the back.
Okay.
And I'm gonna grab a mushroom or two.
Okay.
Walking back.
Easy enough. Eventually, the group decides to stop and set up a camp of sorts, having been traveling for the last several hours. And essentially, they stop and kind of just form up a little what would look like a camp, but without any kind of fire, and just kind of set their packs down and begin to kind of just sit down in a big circle, not really having much conversation or speaking to each other much. More so just kind of focused on the task at hand and stopping to take a rest.
Do they create their own circle?
Inclusive of you guys. It's not exclusive by any means.
Okay.
You guys are all kind of one big group. Is there anything specific you guys would like to do here? You do realize at this point you've probably been traveling for most of the day.
Yeah. I wanted to say that I was going to be watching for them to make if they're making any motions, any movements or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like if they pass any parts, anything like that.
Okay. Make a perception check.
22.
Okay. So throughout that journey so far, there was very, very little interaction between the guards, and you didn't see any kind of parchment handoffs or anything like that.
Yeah.
You essentially just saw they're all carrying like a small backpack or satchel of some sort, of kind of varying sizes for each, but you didn't see anything noteworthy as far as parchments or anything like that.
Right. I just question about that because I have like pretty good passive perception and investigation. Mm-hmm. Does that play into that, like for these long travels? And
it does, yeah. So passive perception will play into anytime there's like a trap or something to be seen that has basically a perception DC lower than your passive perception. You would just automatically see it, and I would advise you of having seen it. So if they made an effort to try to hide something and their sleight of hand check was lower than your passive perception, for example, then you would essentially automatically see it.
Do you just out of game real quick? Do you check those before the session and kind of figure that out before the things happen, so that we don't have to ask every time? Is my passive wisdom doing anything for me right here?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, every time that there's been something that I've just like told you details on without having you check for, it's been a situation where your passive has overcome that.
Appreciate it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to have to ask.
So I'm going to be sitting quietly, and I'm just going to be trying to listen to overhear anything I can from the little bits of talk that they're kind of saying to each other. So it wasn't much.
There's very little. Once in a while, there's kind of a, hey, pass me that, piece of food and stuff like that. But not really anything too descriptive. They're not really paying much attention to each other or to you guys all that much during this. It's kind of just been they've just generally kind of accepted the group as a whole. It seems like this is a completely normal thing for them.
Yeah. I'm going to try to observe, like without too much focus on the lead guy, of like kind of mannerisms or, if I see anything.
Okay. Make a perception check for that.
That's 17.
Okay. You definitely don't notice anything too crazy. It strikes you as odd that they don't socialize the way you'd expect them to. They don't have conversation. There's no like joking or laughing going on. There's no drinking going on. They're just very like to the point in doing what they have to do and then just hanging out.
Cool.
Is there anything you guys would like to do during this camp?
I will be meditating, but not like, normal weird pose, just kind of laying my back up against the wall, sitting there.
Over time, eventually you see some of them, it seems like they're kind of taking turns, but you see a few of them lay down to sleep, while the rest kind of just stay up, sitting up, kind of looking around. The standard, taking watch type of thing as you would perceive it. Is anyone going to rest and sleep?
I'm gonna try and like lean up against the wall like Ashes. I'm kind of mimicking him, and I'm gonna try and nod off to sleep.
Okay.
Take a nap. Take a little nap.
I'll have my eyes closed, but I want to be listening for anything coming down either end of the tunnel.
Okay. So, long story short, do you guys want to do any kind of keeping watch, sleeping,
Yes.
trancing? How do you guys want to structure that?
Would this be like a long rest that we're taking?
Well, no, it's just little rests. It's watches, right?
Just a short rest?
Right. Are you guys going to rest and sleep during this? You've been traveling all day, so this is essentially after.
Have I
like an
noticed
8-hour
them
travel.
actually sleeping?
Yeah, you've noticed
Okay.
people.
And do we
lay
notice
down
them like how long they're sleeping for?
If
He was just saying it's night.
Okay.
I'm
8 hours.
asking how you're gonna structure this.
If it were me, I would structure our watches based on what I'm watching them do. If they're only
So you're
sleeping
gonna
for
stay up right now until you see the people that
if
went to
they're only
sleep.
sleeping for like 4 hours, then I would want to know that like before I go to sleep for 8.
Okay.
You know.
Doll's
so
gonna
I'm-
sleep
I'm
until
gonna stay
someone
up.
wakes Doll up.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay up
So
for the first couple
who's
watches.
sleeping right off the bat?
Nom Nomo.
Amo,
I'll,
Doll, Huey. Okay.
I'll look over to Koros and just make sure that he's got my
Yeah.
back.
Okay. So here's what you notice. You guys go to sleep and trance in Huey's case. Those of you who are up, you notice that starting off, 3 of them, how many do we have here? I'm sorry, 4 of them lay down and appear to go to sleep. After a few hours, it's hard to keep track of time, but certainly not a full 8 hours. 3 of them get up and come back to consciousness. 1 of them remains asleep.
Okay.
Is there going to be a shift in?
I'm assuming around that time Uwe wakes up,
Yes.
and then I'll like nod over to those 3 that woke up, and then I'm gonna lay down.
That's out.
All right. Eddie?
Do I notice the others that haven't gone to sleep going to bed?
Yep. They start
Okay.
to make their way to.
Well, then I'm going to make my way to my side as well.
Perfect. So at that point, kind of just the reverse. The other 3 that are left head off and go to sleep. And the others just keep watch with those of you that are up until another several hours pass and everyone collectively is up.
Okay.
At this point, they kind of just collect up their things, just a few.
Sorry, real quick. Was there how many total were there?
There's 7 total.
Okay.
You only told us the names of 2 of them, right? The Indrum and Domikos.
Demikos, yeah.
Demikos, and Demikos was the leader.
Yep.
Okay.
So at this point, they basically come to consciousness. They begin to kind of pack up their things again, put away the little bits of food that are out. The few conversation pieces that you hear are just them again, kind of, oh, hey, here's this, you left that here, that type of stuff. And then they pack up all their things and begin to travel once more, which you guys just fall in
Mimic.
line and head along with them.
Mhm.
And I'll be in the back again, staying near Ash.
Okay. After traveling for a few more hours, you pass many, many more of these kind of side tunnels, many more mushrooms, a few of which Nom Namo picks up. A few sections where the road kind of forks off or joins into 2 or 2 into 1. And again, they just seem to know exactly where they're going. After traveling for another few hours, the group slows down in front of you, and suddenly those in front stop and you guys stop behind them, and you watch as the ones that are in front draw their weapons out. They have the exact same swords that you guys are holding.
And I'll draw them.
Looking up ahead of the group, you can see 10 dwarven figures standing in a group, each with pale gray skin and wearing a combination of mail armor and plate in various places of their bodies. All of the dwarves are holding large pickaxes fashioned of a bluish gray metal. And the guard that's up in the front, Damokos, the one that's been leading you guys, steps up with his sword and says, "Vermin, surrender your weapons and stand aside or be torn asunder." And one of the dwarves steps forward and says, "We know of your filthy tricks. We will never surrender to your kind. Stand your ground." And he turns to the dwarves behind him and kind of like lifts his arms like they're going to, stand where they are. And a menacing smile crosses Damokos' face. And he looks back at your whole group, making eye contact with most of you, and says, "Very well," and looks directly at you guys and says, "Leave none alive." Turns back towards the dwarves. And with that, please roll initiative.
Ugh.
This makes me feel weird.
Well, they're coming at us, so survival instinct.
Oh, not good.
No. What's not good?
A 1 + 2.
All right, give me 1 second. Let's just do that for you guys. I really wish Roll20 would be nicer to me.
What do you need it to do?
It just doesn't. It's still not giving me all the premium stuff that I should have. But that's okay. Ooh, these guys.
Did you upgrade?
Yeah, but it's still not working.
Have you logged out and relogged?
Yep.
Did you unplug it and plug it back in?
All right, let's do this. Oh man, it's not fun drawing.
I hear like the squeaking.
I can hear that too. Somebody's background.
Ah, crickets.
Oh, the devil. You got the devil
I
in the
can
room.
hear it.
Matt says that it's sin incarnate.
So
in a
crickets
bug.
are.
Yeah.
Because it's hot in here. My mom keeps the house at
No,
80.
let go.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
80?
The cold hurts me. And I go, the heat hurts me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's only so much you can do about a hot house. If you got a cold house, you use a blanket.
Wear jackets, use a blanket,
Yeah.
pants,
It's
anything.
very true.
There's only so
She
many
doesn't
layers
believe
you
in
can
that
take off.
philosophy. Yeah, I can't take my skin off and I want to, so. It's funny too, and they're like, but it's not hot in any other room. And I'm like, but my room becomes 8 degrees hotter because I have computers and screens. Things that give off heat. They don't believe me. It's a fun time.
No, don't move the whole wall. It's annoying. All right. So this is the general layout. Keep in mind, let me pull these guys back up here. Someday I'll get this whole online encounter thing figured out and not have to take up 10 minutes of your time setting it up. But for now, this is what we got.
By then, we'll be able to meet in person.
Right.
Hopefully.
That'll be
Please,
that'll be
God.
great. So let me just make sure I've got this correct. Yes. Keep in mind these guys up here do not have shields. They're just wearing that plate and mail armor, and holding big pickaxes. But they are not wearing those shields. They do also, as far as you can tell, many of them have some sort of pole or javelin or spear or something like that strapped to their back. But aside from that, they're just little gray dwarves. Let's go ahead and do initiative. Ash,
Yeah, 12.
Edwind,
19.
Dahl.
Crap. I don't want to go first. I'm a sorcerer.
Not today.
You're gonna have to be a sword, sir, for a little while.
Oh, Dahl,
He had 3.
Three.
3. Sorry, I didn't hear it. Uwe,
23.
23. Koros,
16.
Namo.
12.
Okay. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's them. Okay. Oh my God. So let's roll for them. And okay. All right. So based on that initiative order, we'll start off with Uyadubi.
Well, alrighty. I
Alrighty.
guess. What sword do I have?
So you have on your belt just essentially just a short sword.
Perfect.
However, as you attack with it, use the stat block for your normal weapon.
So like my scimitar.
Whatever your regular weapon is that you would have.
Your dark elf scimitar.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have one of those scimitars, then use that. But
Dope.
it's basically just going to
I
be whatever
will.
your standard weapon is.
I'll do that then, I guess. This kind of sucks. I'll come forward to this dude,
Okay,
and I'll whack him or try
go
to.
ahead.
Uh, 1d20 plus 8. 20.
That'll hit.
Sick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did misquote that. They do have shields. They have the pickaxe and shields. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, go ahead and roll damage for that.
Gotcha. Since this is a finesse weapon, and it was the first hit, do I get a sneak attack or no?
Is this a scenario you would normally?
Yeah, it's like
I wish I knew that ability better than I do.
You just traveled 60 feet.
Let me see. Once per turn, you deal an extra blah 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 blah. If you have advantage on the roll. You don't need advantage if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it. That enemy isn't incapacitated, and you don't have disadvantage on the roll.
I don't think so.
No.
Oh yeah,
Alrighty.
how'd you move all the way up there? That was like 60 feet.
Yeah,
That's what I was
Bonus action
wondering.
dash.
Oh, bonus
Yeah.
dash.
Yep.
Rogue stuff.
So how much damage did you do?
I'm doing 11.
11. Cool. So you swing the short sword at this dwarf. and it just dives right in past his armor. And you can see already just with that one hit, he's actually messed up pretty bad. Anything else for Uwe?
Nope.
All right, Edwind.
I'm just gonna kind of like draw that scimitar, and I'm gonna kind of like quickly like walk towards the enemy. Not really go into a full on like charge against him, but I'm gonna go up here. Where's my mouse? I'm gonna go to this guy right here.
Can you make it that far?
How far is that?
I don't know, where was I?
It's like 45, 40 feet.
Oh,
something like
I'm
that.
sorry. I thought I was up here somewhere. Sorry.
You
5,
can
10,
go like
15,
right here.
20, 25, 30. Yeah, I can go like anywhere up here. Yeah. So I'm gonna go towards these guys.
Okay. Anything else?
And then that ends my turn.
All right.
But I'm gonna have my sword out like I'm ready to do a strike.
Okay. That'll bring us to Koros.
I'm just going to move to this spot over. Actually, I'm not going to move. I'm just going to kind of get here and ready.
Okay. And then Ash.
I will move as far as I can, sort of on the other side of Edwin's towards the center of the cave.
And what's your movement?
50.
So you could get all the way up to about here if you wanted to be there.
Yeah, let's go 2 more squares to the left. So I'm going to be kind of centered. Yeah,
Perfect.
thank you. And I will hold. I'll draw the short sword and hold an attack action until I'm in range, or one of them is in range.
All right. That brings us to Nam Namo.
Is that how you tell them that that's what you're doing? I didn't know what the words were for that.
Now you know.
Now I know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of see other members of my group moving forward to attack, and I'm gonna kind of start moving forward. Up here.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna kind of pull out my sword and kind of hold it awkwardly in front of me.
Okay.
Like I just would assume you hold the sword and just kind of be walking forward, like kind of running forward and being readied. Oh wait, actually,
Okay.
I can only go 25. Somewhere.
All right. Got it. So that then brings us to these guards who, let me just check their movement. You can do that. This guy's going to come up here. They all, you watch as they all start to advance around you. This one up here in the front takes a swing at the dwarf in front of him. And you watch as the lead, that's actually Damakos there, he runs all the way up next to Uwe, almost in tandem with him. And a moment after Uwe's strike hits the dwarf, you watch as he runs up with his sword and takes one just swift and just frankly kind of magnificent swing at this dwarf right across his neckline and just straight decapitates the dwarf. You watch as his head rolls off, hits the ground, and his body just falls limp underneath.
That's good.
Then
These are Uwe's kind of people.
then that brings us to them. They're going to step up.
Do I not get a turn in that?
Your turn is after them.
Oh, that's what happens when you roll
Slice.
that.
Yeah, you rolled a low number.
No.
In fact, the new house rule is you roll a 1 on your ready check and you just skip a turn.
You just don't get to move.
You're like,
So
what am I
as
doing?
soon as this guy rolls up next to me, I'm gonna
Yeah.
slice on him. Slice.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a melee attack
Okay,
on my guy.
Yep. So, Ash, go ahead and roll your attack for that guy.
10,
10 does not hit.
right? Okay, one more time. 11,
Nope.
right?
So both
Good.
hits just strike the armor.
3 and 4.
Edwin, go ahead and roll for that guy.
23 to the hit.
Yep. Go ahead and roll damage.
D8. Where's my D8? 7,
All right.
because it's D8 plus
Done
2.
real quick. All right. So the one up in front of Edwind is going to take one quick swing at him with the pickaxe. And that is going to be 16.
That will hit.
Okay. Where are all of my dice? There. That's going to do 14 damage, piercing damage. Then we have the one, this one in front of the guard is going to take a swing at him. And you watch as that one does not hit. He just straight up blocks it with the sword. This one in front of Uwe takes a swing at him. And that is going to be 7. So Uwe as well is able to dodge the attack. This one to the right of Uwe takes a swing at him. That's going to be 10. So another swing just completely misses Uwe. This one in front of Ash attempts to retaliate after being hit by him. 21 to hit.
Yeah.
That one's going to be, 17 piercing damage.
Those are some crazy pickaxes. What the
Golly.
heck?
That's ouch.
What the heck are these things made of? Fire?
Okay. And then we've got this guy in front of that guard. Takes a swing. And you watch as that one does not hit. The guard is able to block that one. And then the one on the far right takes a swing and completely misses the guard as well. That finally brings us to Dahl's turn.
What did Adon roll on his initiative?
Lower than Dahl,
Wow.
Jeez.
believe it or not.
All right. All Dahl can do is move up.
All right.
And then I'm going to scream at him. Roar! Try a little intimidation.
Okay. Roll an intimidation check.
13. Not much.
All right.
They're not
Doesn't really
intimidated.
react too much.
It was worth a
You're-
shot.
You get the idea that you're probably not the scariest thing that they've seen down here.
Yeah.
Adon, I believe, has a movement of 30, if I'm not mistaken. Yep.
My turn, guys.
15, 20, 25. I'm coming, guys.
I'm coming.
He wisely keeps his mouth shut and just moves up and stands kind of
A little flamboyant.
everyone else. That brings us around to the top of the initiative order, Uyadubi.
Alrighty. So that guy's dead in front of me, huh?
The one that was
That
there
guy's
is another
gone.
one that took his place. So he's
Gotcha.
standing over his buddy's
So
dead body with severed head.
I'm going to take a swing at the dude right in front of me.
Okay.
Since there's a dude standing 5 feet next to him, I can do a sneak attack.
Yep, you sure can.
So I will roll using all of the things that I have to type in.
Gotta love roll 20 rolling.
Sick. 26.
26 will hit.
So then I do 4d6 plus 8. $23.
23. Okay. So, you take a swing at him and you actually connect with this guy better than you did with the first one and deliver a devastating blow to this guy. And you watch as he essentially takes a step back and looks like he's just in shock with how bloodied he is at the moment. Anything else you're going to do?
Yeah, house rules.
Yeah. So since I have 2 weapon fighting, can I choose to kick him?
Yeah.
Perfect. I would like to kick him in the face because he's short.
Do it.
So,
Take that, short people.
Watch out, Nom Nomo. You're next.
You're next. I'm gonna get you.
25.
Oh my god.
Okay. Roll damage.
It's just automatically 4.
It's automatically 4.
A kick?
Yeah.
It was an unarmed strike.
So
Yeah.
you reach your leg up and you kick him just square in the center of the face. And literally everyone that's around can hear a massive just crack and crunch as your foot makes a visible dent in the front of this dwarf's face. And he falls over backwards, completely motionless.
Nice.
Jeez,
Oh,
man.
dude.
Oh man. Just kill these,
That's awesome.
I'm assuming, innocent dwarfs.
Anything else?
Probably.
Anything else for Ian?
No.
All right, Edwin.
Oh my gosh.
Oh golly.
Oh
gee.
golly well. Where's my actions? I'm just gonna swing again.
Okay.
Hopefully the other 2 guys will kill him before I get plundered with another pickaxe. That is a 25 to the hit.
You get
Roll that
plundered.
damage.
It's like they're mining me, man. It's like what the heck? Really?
They're just
Okay.
little kids trying to play Minecraft, and you're the guy ruining the server.
Yeah. That's a 6.
6 damage. Okay. So you can tell after you connect with that hit that this guy's also hurt pretty bad at this point. Anything else you can do?
No.
Okay. That'll
Not
bring
this
us
turn.
to Koros.
All right, I'll move up to here next to Edwin,
Okay.
and I'll attack that guy.
Okay.
Kick
Ooh,
him in the
natural
face.
1.
Natural 1.
Yep.
Okay, so you swing, and you basically it almost looks to everyone else like Koros just forgot that these guys are short, and he just swings straight over the thing's head, and just completely misses. Then do you have anything else?
I'm gonna attack again.
Oh, that's right. Attack twice. Go ahead.
25.
That'll hit. Roll the damage.
Where's the thing? $14.
14. So this swing, After missing the first time, you basically swing back around and rebound for a second hit. And you watch as this time the swing lands basically right on the spot between his shoulder and his neck and just dives straight down a good half a foot into his torso. And you're able to kind of get it jammed in there and then pull it back to get it out. And there's a big splash of blood as his body falls back behind where he was standing.
That's it for me.
That'll bring us to Ash.
Okay, let's try this again. It's been a while since I've used a sword. Yeah, or a staff, I guess. Yeah,
I was joking on Thursday about the potential of you using a sword.
I think we were.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit this guy.
Okay.
That's much better. 23.
That'll hit.
9.
9. Got it.
And again, 9.
That will not hit.
Yeah. And then I will spend a key point for patient defense.
Okay. That will bring us to Nom Namo.
All right. I will. Move up here because that's as far as I can move. Again, still right here.
Okay.
Again, I'm just still kind of like running with the sword out in front of me. Like, oh, I think you would hold a sword.
Okay. That brings us to these guards. So let's do the movement first, and then we'll do the attacking. Let's see here. We can go there, and we can go there. 10, 15, 20, 30. Actually, we can go right there. Okay. So this guy is going to basically pass the one in the front and take a big swing at the guy right behind him. That one's actually going to get blocked by his shield. The one right behind him takes a swing at this guy. That one does connect. And let me remind myself what the damage is on that because he does connect. Okay, that one is 15 to that guy. All right. So you watch as that guy just lands a solid hit straight through the armor of the dwarf in the front and does a devastating blow to him. The one directly next to him takes a swing as well. Pretty much almost like it's in sync. The first hit strikes the dwarf on the right side. The second hit strikes the dwarf on the, other way. The first one hits on the left side. Second one hits on the right side. And you just watch as the blades just penetrate straight through his body. And when they pull them out, he falls limp behind him. This guy takes a swing at the dwarf in front of him. That one's a miss. The one in the middle takes a swing. That's a miss. The one on the far right takes a swing, and you watch as that one does get through the armor. Okay. Then we'll have the dwarves retaliate. This guy takes a swing. What was the damage? Okay. So he gets a hit in on the one in front of him. This guy moves up, takes a swing, and completely misses. This guy takes a swing at Uwe. That one is a 7 to hit, completely misses again. This guy continues to attempt to attack Ash. He's actually going to take a... nope, he's just going to take a swing at Ash. That is 15.
At disadvantage.
That's
It's gonna be
disadvantage.
well. That doesn't hit anyway.
Yeah, still doesn't hit. This guy takes a swing at the one in front of him. That one hits. You watch as he does some damage to the guard in front of him. This guy takes a swing as well, and also connects with the guard in front of him. Perfect. I think that does it for the dwarves. That brings us to Dahl.
Okay. All right. Let me move here. And I'm going to attack this first guy right here.
Okay.
And let's see, what is my, there we go. That would be 8 plus 27 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, and you might be able to help me on this sort of answering. It's 1 die 8 plus 6, and then shaded is 1 die 10 plus 6. I don't know what the shaded is.
Shaded. Let me see.
That's if you wield it with 2 hands.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
You meant that. Okay.
Gotcha. Appreciate that.
So you
we're
can't do
gonna-
that if you've got a shield per se. But if both hands are free, you can swing with both.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. We'll do 1 die 8 plus 6. And that'll do 12 damage.
12 damage. Got it. All right.
And do I get a second attack if I use my movement to get there?
You should be able to if you have a second attack.
I do.
So you have. Yep. You can make a second attack. Yep.
All right. Let's seeing how I. All right. We're gonna attack this guy.
Is there a penalty at all for like using two-handed weapon? Does it use your second attack?
Nope.
Does anyone? Oh, so you can use a two-handed attack anytime if your hand is free.
Yeah. You can just say it's
Oh.
a two-handed attack as long as your other hand is free, and you can use the 10.
Okay. Now this is interesting. I have an ability to take another strike after that on anyone else within 5 feet. It's called Horde Breaker. So my second attack is going to be on this same guy.
So that was the one that I was looking at for you being able to take a second attack.
Oh, okay. I just want. So the second attack has to be on the other guy.
Right.
So I will roll that, and that is going to be the. Let's see, it will be here, and that is 15.
15 does not hit. So that
Oh.
one, you swing back over at that guy, and he just barely gets his shield up in time, just in time to deflect the hit.
Okay.
So that will bring us to Adon. Where is Adon? There he is. He 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He's going to move up here, and he'll take a swing at this dwarf in front of him. He is actually going to hit. Let's see what his damage is going to be. 8 plus 3. He's going to deal 5 damage to this guy. And you watch as after Adon makes that hit, he just kind of starts to stumble back. And then I'm going to use War Priest on Adon, and he's going to take a second attack as a bonus action. That one's going to hit. Perfect. So you watch as Adon lunges forward at this dwarf and delivers just 2 hits in rapid succession, killing off that dwarf. And then that'll finish his turn. That'll bring us back around again to Uwe.
Okie dokie. Oh, perfect. There are so many people around me. I can sneak attack for days.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go after this fat boy here.
Okay.
12.
No hit.
Okay. Well, I am going to do the second attack that I can do.
Okay.
Can't you sneak attack on the first one that hits, or does it?
That's really unfortunate.
Oh wow.
Oh, was that 9 your second attack?
Yeah, but it's a crit one.
It's a nat 1. Got it. Okay. I'm not going to punish you for it. I didn't punish one of the dwarves for a nat 1. So in fairness, I'm not going to punish you for it.
Oh.
Anything else for Uwe?
Nope.
All right, Edwin.
I'm gonna there's everything's blocked off, so I'm just
Everything in front of you is considered an ally except the dwarves.
Okay.
So you can move through all of them.
Is there a space for me right here?
Yep.
Cool. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna swing at the guy. I'm gonna
Okay.
kind of mimic that guy's grimace. Damocos's, the little kind of half smile as I'm doing it.
Okay.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Okay.
Yay!
Make a performance check with advantage.
Performance check. What's a performance check? That's also a natural 20.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
But plus 5. So
Okay.
super performant. I'm
go ahead and
I'm
roll.
charismatic.
Go ahead and roll damage on that hit. Double your dice and then add your modifiers.
So do I roll it twice?
Just roll it once, double the dice, then add the modifiers.
Okay, so it's 12 plus 2. 14.
Okay. Yep. So you make that grimace, and you actually notice out of the corner of your eye as you do that, it's right around the same time that Demokos finishes off one of the dwarves very violently that he's fighting, looks up and makes eye contact with you a moment after you make that grimace, and just dive into this dwarf. And you see him make the exact same, just kind of evil looking smile back at you as he turns back to continue fighting. And the dwarf that you hit just seems defenselessly just shocked by the strike that you just delivered to him.
Awesome.
Anything else for Edwin?
That's it.
Okay. That brings us then to Koros.
All right, I'm gonna suppose move over to this side of this guy.
Okay.
And I will attack him.
Finish him.
Is this with advantage?
Yep.
Natural? All right, well, it's 19 or 20.
Yep, that'll hit.
Um,
Roll damage.
14.
14. That'll do it. So you walk up, and as this one is basically stumbling backwards from the attack from Edwin, you walk up and you're able to just essentially dive your sword straight into his back with the momentum that he's falling back with. And he falls off your sword, completely lifeless.
All right, I'll move over here and then attack this guy.
Okay. Oops.
One more over.
All right, roll that attack.
23.
That'll hit.
Do I roll for advantage to see if I get it?
No, you don't have advantage here.
Oh, okay. 11.
11. Perfect. All that will bring us to Ash.
Okay, how's the guy that I've been working on? How does he look?
The guy in front of you doesn't look great. He looks pretty bloodied.
All right. I'm gonna hit him with the sharp thingy.
Okay.
11.
You're good at this.
Nope. It's
I'm
playing
just
out-
rolling 3s and 4s tonight,
it's-
man.
It's playing
Why did-
out pretty well that the people that don't use swords don't use them very well, so that's good.
You
I
should
have
try
proficiency,
Why
to
didn't
but
be
you
in
it's-
re-roll your
gameplay.
die?
Anything else for Ash?
I will attack again.
for it.
Thankfully, I can attack twice. 26.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
You should secretly put your claw out when you're swinging. Pommel strike with claws.
6.
Okay.
6 damage.
You can visibly tell he's pretty messed up. He's slowing down and getting pretty bad. Nom Namo.
All right. So I'm gonna run over here, and then I'm gonna like run over there. Right, I'm holding the sword. I'm just gonna kind of. There's 3 people in front of me in between in the fight, and so I'm gonna kind of like kind of try and get around, and then I'm just gonna kind of in between these 2 guys, just kind of step up for a second and try and kind of swing and hit this dwarf right here.
Okay. Make an attack with disadvantage.
Okay. All right.
With your strength modifier.
Ooh, that actually wasn't bad. For my first one. Oh, geez. Oh, okay. Oh, that's not bad at all. So, 15.
Just barely does not hit. So you swing in, and it looks like you have the perfect gap, and you're like, "Oh, I'll take it!" And you swing at him, and
Yeah.
just at the last second, it deflects off of a piece of the dwarf's armor.
Okay. And
Alright.
that's my turn.
All right.
That's
that
it. I
brings
just kind of
us
step
to-
back into my place and kind of am still bobbing there looking for my opening.
That brings us to these guards. So the ones over here kind of begin to step back this way. Seeing as the dwarves are pretty surrounded, it looks like they're kind of forming a kind of, barrier behind. This guy kind of takes a step back over here. The 3 that are in a row right here continue their combat against these dwarves. The one on the left takes a swing and misses. The one in the middle takes a swing. That one's going to hit. That's the one. And delivers a devastating blow to that one who is now barely standing. And the one on the right takes a big swing as well, right up against the wall. And also delivers a hit to the one on the right, who appears as well pretty shocked from what's going on. That moves us to the dwarves' turn. This one is going to take a swing at Uwe next to him. That's going to be 21 to hit.
Yeah, I'll uncanny dodge.
And remind me again. That's
It just takes half damage. It's a reaction. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget literally every single time. So that is 10 damage, rounded down. I'm sorry, cut in half, not rounded down.
Cool.
And then this one takes a swing at the guard standing in front of him and completely misses. The other 2 appear to be too badly injured from what they've just endured to actually react to anything that's going on at the present moment. Doll.
Okay. Doll is going to move here. And I'm going to strike at each one of them in order.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So let's
Working
start-
through.
Let's start with this guy.
All right. And that's going to be a 27.
roll damage.
All right, and the damage is 10.
Okay. And then roll an attack for the next one.
Okay, and
It's easier in the interface. You could just do the 3 d20s in a row.
yep. So the next one's going to be a 10.
Okay, that's no hit.
Okay, and
Let's go for the
then
third one.
third one, it's going to be a 29.
Ooh, natural 20. Double down.
Okay.
And damage for that is going to be 8.
Okay. And for the last one.
The last one, I have an 11.
And that's no hit.
Okay.
All right. So you watch as Dahl runs around this group of dwarves and just takes 4 swings in rapid succession with his sword. This one and this one fall to the ground dead after being slashed from behind by Dahl. The other 2 seem to make it through. And that brings us to a Dawn. He'll take a step up and take Dahl's previous position and take a swing. That's gonna hit. And the damage for a Dawn that I forgot is 1d8 plus 3. And then he'll use another. Can he use another War Priest? Yeah, he can. He'll use another War Priest to attack again. And that one does not hit. So his first one hits. You can see this guy's pretty messed up. The second one does not. And that will bring us back around to Uwe.
Right. I'm going to swing at this guy.
Okay.
17.
That hits. Roll damage.
Go. I should copy paste one of these. $13.
13 will do it. You take a big swing at this guy, and it just slashes straight through what's left of his armor, and he falls to the ground.
Oof.
Anything else for Uwe?
Yeah. Yes. Am I still able to move, and would I be able to kick this dude?
Yep.
Perfect. I will move and kick.
Okay, roll an attack for that.
It's like this Jackie Chan running kick strike.
You know what? Because you're running at him and he's actually shocked right now, roll it with advantage.
Okay. Nat 20.
There it
And
is.
I can sneak attack him since we're all standing next to him.
Yeah, don't worry about that. How do you want to do this?
Yeah, don't worry about that.
I come flying up, and it's like I've played an ancient game of soccer from the future. And I jump straight up into the air like I'm serving a volley, like I'm going to flip back and kick, and I just kick him straight in the face, and his head pops clean off, right under the chin. It just goes, whoop,
Yeah.
and I like send it careening down the tunnel.
You guys watch as almost defying physics, Uwe flies in and just kicks the guy, and you hear a combination of a snapping, a crunching, and a tearing sound as this poor dwarf's shocked and debilitated head just gets ripped clean off of his shoulders and flies down the passageway down in this direction. And he is finished. As you guys kind of finish up this combat scenario, you can see as the guards that are around you appear to not even be, out of breath or phased in any way. They kind of just, recoup themselves, put their swords away, kind of clean them off if they need, put their stuff away. And Damokos, you see, as he begins to start to walk off to continue, gives that same like kind of menacing smile as he nods towards Edwind, and begins to walk down the cavern once again, and says, "Leave their bodies here to rot." And then just continues walking, and you watch as the rest of the guards begin to kind of pack up their things as little as they need to, and begin to walk off to follow them.
I'm going to wipe my sword off, or what appears to be a sword, off on the guy that I slain, and then I'm going to like kind of just do that halfway smile and just start falling in line.
Okay.
Gross.
I'm going to be the last one, I guess, to follow with Nom Namo, I guess. And I'll do a subtle bow at the guy that I was sparring with not so well, and then I will follow.
Okay. So this is roughly kind of the order that I'd expect we would see people kind of walking in. It's not a perfect like single file row or anything like that. You're kind of just walking in a group. Now, is there anything you guys would like to do before we move on?
I don't have anything.
Not me.
Okay. Let me drop this encounter builder here. Perfect. All right. So immediately upon that happening, the first thing you notice is the guys that you're walking with, these guards, appear just completely emotionless and like they are not fazed whatsoever by what just happened, having just slaughtered all of these dwarves. Almost as if they, I guess not necessarily to the point that they take joy in it, but just that it's like, oh yeah, that was just a part of my day, and they're just moving on. As you guys follow with them, the travel continues again uneventfully for another several hours. Let me pull this down here. The road, again, not really changing much in appearance aside from those few mushrooms again on the side and a couple extra tunnels that you see branching off from the main one that you guys are in. Some the same size, some smaller, some bigger, but these guards seem to know exactly where they're going. And after traveling for another several hours, you reach another fork in the path. And this time the party stops. One guard steps up and kind of puts up his hand to stop everybody else. And when he does so, he turns to them and says, "This is where we part ways." And Damokos turns to him and says, "Remind me again of your final destination." And the guard says, "Chednasad." And Damokos says, "Ah, beautiful city. Well, it's been a pleasure." And one of the other guards that's behind the one that just spoke up steps forward and says, "Wait, what? I thought we were..." And then the first one that spoke just cuts him off, and a big smile comes across his face, and he says, "Don't worry about it. You'll be fine." And he pushes the one who questioned this backwards and towards the tunnel to your right, where they, along with three others, disappear into the darkness. And as he's being pulled that way, you can kind of hear some like, "Wait, I thought we were going..." As it kind of echoes off into the darkness of the tunnel to the right. At this point, you're left with two guards along with the seven of you. And the guards begin to continue their journey through the darkness of the tunnels to the left opposite of where the rest of them went.
Are the two still with us? Or are they Andrum and Damokos?
They are, yes, they are Andrum and Damokos. Okay. Is there anything you guys would like to do at this point, or just continue to follow?
Yeah, I'm going to just be following Ash at this point. I'm trying my best not to talk at all.
Okay, great.
I want to impress Koros.
So, love that. Transparency.
Oh my god.
So you guys continue to travel again at this point.
Roll a
even-
performance check.
Actually, yeah. Thanks, Drew.
Dang
Can you
it.
roll a performance check?
Oh, true. Oh,
Drew, you turd. That's why.
It's just for me.
Just for Koros.
Oh, sweet. 18.
Koros
Nice.
actually feels surprisingly impressed with the fact that Namnamo has managed to keep his mouth shut.
When he looks at me, I just kind of go.
All right. So you guys travel for a while longer, and at this point, with even less people there, you notice there's even less conversation than there was before. And again, just the same scenery as it goes by. And after another several hours, you feel like you're probably nearing the end of the second day that you guys have been traveling. And once again, Andrum and Damakos decide to stop to take a rest for the foreseeable future. They begin to take off their kind of packs and stuff and put them down on the ground and kind of begin to take a seat. You guys kind of follow as you did before. And as this is happening, Damakos actually turns to Namnamo, who happens to be the closest one to where he took that seat. And he begins to speak, and what comes out of his mouth at this point is an Elven dialect
Okay.
that none of you recognize. However, I actually completely missed this in your character sheets before, but Dahl actually perfectly understands what this guard is saying.
What?
Elvish. Yes, sir.
I apologize for having missed that. In your
Elvish.
sheet.
I have
Is it?
Elvish.
Yeah, I
It's
can. I know
not
Elvish.
It's not Elvish.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He's speaking Undercommon,
Mm.
which I just realized literally minutes before this session that's in Dahl's character sheet. So, that being said, when this guard begins to speak, none of you understand. It sounds familiar to you as that Elven dialect that you've heard before, but none of you understand it except Dahl, who's sitting off to the side, understands what he says.
As soon as you're starting to talk to me, and I realize you have eye contact, I'm assuming I'm just going to be looking at you, just kind of the whole time.
Yeah. And so as he
Oh,
begins to speak to you, Dahl, what you hear him say, looking directly at Namnamo, is, so now that that human they're taking to Ched Nasad is gone, we can finally stop using that disgusting overworld dialect. Tell me, from where do you hail? And he just looks at Namnamo, waiting for a response.
And I just look at so I'm just looking at him, kind of nodding. And
I'm gonna
kinda
answer.
I'm just like kind of darting guys to the group. Just
Okay.
I'm going to answer for him before he gets into trouble. I'm just going to let him know he's not going to answer you. He's been hit in the head too many times with rocks as a kid.
That makes sense. He didn't seem to do too much. In
I
that
hear
little
you starting to say
squabble
is
we had.
whatever the dialect this is, and I start going just
And then-
nodding even more fervently in agreement.
And so at that point, his gaze has switched completely over to Dahl. So then, why don't you tell me, from where do you hail?
North.
North. Are you from one of the major cities, or?
No. From the wilds up north.
Are
You
from-
wouldn't have heard of it.
How would I not have heard of it? Make a deception check, or a persuasion if you're actually being honest from where you're from.
Let's see. Persuasion or deception. They're both pretty bad.
Oh, dude.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh man.
That means he successfully deceives him for the rest of the night.
You see him. Surprisingly, I haven't actually been out of Menza Berenzin that much, so I suppose I may not have heard of it. Where are the rest of you from? And kind of, you see his gaze kind of just scanning across everybody.
I'm still not.
Are we sitting down?
Yeah, you guys are all sitting down, kind of just.
But-
I'll pretend to just be asleep.
But none of them understand him, right?
I'm gonna,
No one understands it.
as he starts looking around, I'm gonna kind of speak up and say, why did we switch languages all of a sudden? I know that human left.
You
But
don't
I
know
did-
that.
Yeah, you
Oh.
heard him say that.
I didn't know. I thought he said the human left.
But
He
he
said
said
that
that.
in
He
undercommon.
said that in his language.
Yeah.
But I thought I noticed that there was one human with us. Did I
No,
not see
no,
it?
no,
They
no.
all
They,
look
they
the
all
same.
look
We
the
didn't know that.
same. They all look like
Oh.
normal Luskin guards.
I thought you said a human walked away. Okay.
No.
I've had that
You
written
said
down.
One of them.
Okay, I'm still gonna say, why did we switch languages? all of a
Okay.
sudden?
And he turns back to you and he has a somewhat confused look on his face. And he says back to you in Undercommon that only Dahl can understand. You just hear this Elven dialect again. And he says, well, like I said, we were only speaking in that overworld dialect to fool the human in coming along this far.
Yeah, well, I have no idea what he's saying clearly.
Yeah.
At this point, with a big smile across his face, at this point, we can return to the wonderful language that we are all natively speaking.
Oh crap.
He,
I'm gonna say,
Turns-
but I could use the practice in this tongue.
there is no use for practice in such a useless language. We only need it while we're taking our disguise in that filthy city up above. And he turns over to Nam Namo.
I'm going to interrupt him. Where are we going? I'm confused.
Were you not briefed on this mission before we headed out?
I wasn't. I was simply told to follow you.
Fair enough. We're headed back to Luskin. I suppose you know everything that's going on.
I know bits and pieces. I'd love it if you'd fill me in. I'm pretty low rank. They don't really tell me much.
Where exactly were you stationed that you don't know what's going on in Luskin?
Well, I wasn't stationed in Luskin. I was just stationed where we came from.
You see his eyes kind of narrow a little bit. Make a deception check.
Come on, 20. Come on, 20.
Roll it, rolling.
18.
Ooh.
He turns back to you and says, I suppose the communication could use a bit of improvement in this area. Do the rest of you understand, or were the rest of you stationed in that useless city as well?
I'm still
Again,
nodding.
you guys watch his gaze kind of just scan across all of you guys again.
I'm still nodding from before. I've never stopped.
I'm gonna be
I'm
looking
still
at that.
pretending to sleep.
I'm staring at the ground.
They're more clueless than I am.
I'm looking at the wound that pickaxe just grabbed me with.
Why do these maggots not speak for themselves? His gaze back on Dahl.
They're just tired. There was a little tussle.
Make another deception check.
Crap.
Dude. So much lying.
Come on, 20. Oh, 13. It's getting worse.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
You see his eyes narrow a little bit. Tired after a brief squabble with Duriger?
No. It was all the drinking we did the night before.
And you just see his eyes narrow a little bit further, and he looks over at Andrum and then looks back at you. Tell me
Don't like
in
what
great detail who you are and where you're from before I remove your head like I did that Durgar.
What's Andrum doing at this point? Like, where is he?
Andrum is sitting basically next to Damakos. You can see both of them. Their body language is getting a little bit on edge, and you can hear the tense. You can hear his voice tensing up a little bit, and you can see with his facial features that he's getting a little bit tense towards Dahl.
I look over at Koros worryingly.
We're stationed at the gate, just south of where the frost giants attacked. Frost giants? Yes.
Where?
By the gate. You know,
By
the big
what
gate? The big gate by the water. The big gate. Big gate.
And tell me this, who stationed you there?
Another guy.
Yeah. Roll one more deception check with disadvantage.
Jeez, I really wish I could understand what
I start standing up and I'm gonna go. So can I know the positions of everybody in this part of the cave really quick?
Let me pull it up for you.
How do I roll with disadvantage?
Just roll twice and take the lower of the two.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's pretty bad. 2. We're in trouble, boys.
Oh,
Just that when I started hearing the voices raise,
And with that deception check, my hand is on my sword.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk over here. Just as once I heard Dahl's voice raise, talking about the guy or whatever it was that I heard, I'm gonna move over here and kind of face the wall like I'm about to relieve myself.
Okay. And at that point, you watch as Damakos looks over at Andrum and begins to stand up, and he looks directly at Dahl and says, I have had enough of this. I don't care who sent you. I will put an end to you myself. And he draws his sword from its sheath, and Andrum follows and does the same.
Okay, I'm attacking.
I draw my sword.
Initiative.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Roll for
No.
initiative.
I can't react to the drawing of the sword.
Well, you have to put your sword away first.
I never.
You're peed.
My hand was on the sword.
Oh, man.
Okay.
We'll cut that from the stream.
It's
No
past
pun
10
intended.
o'clock. Drew's filter has disappeared.
Very
I
true.
love that. It makes me so happy.
Yay!
What'd you get?
Nat 20, so 23.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. That's the one I was using before. Or is it? Is that the one I was using before? Or was it this one? No. That's okay. Let's just do it on one. We will do that. Oh, that's
Couldn't have just
right.
told him that
Okay.
Jarl Axel or something sent us.
I did. The guy. You know,
The-
Yeah,
the,
the
guy.
guy by the big
Yeah.
gate near the
By the
near the
big
water.
gate. Dude, what
Guy.
about that guy?
You know, the guy near the big the water.
Oh, that was so
Yeah.
good. All right, this is all messed up. Let's just do that, and we'll save it, and then we'll run it. All right. Let me roll Adon's initiative 1.
Wow.
Perfect.
Edwin,
I got a 21.
Dahl,
12.
Ui,
15.
Koros,
17.
Nam Namo,
23.
Ash,
21.
and then hopefully I remember to do that. All right, let's start this off with Nom Namo.
Okay.
He's a quick boy.
Nom Namo.
Yeah.
Is there anything at this point that has made me feel like I can't shapeshift?
That makes you. What do you mean by makes you feel like you can't? Like you would be unable to, or like it's
Unable
not
to.
a good idea to? No, you feel fine.
Only Koros is gaze.
But if you shapeshift, you don't go back to this.
If you, yeah, the only thing that's been told to you is that if you shapeshift, you lose your form.
disguise.
Okay.
Not that we need it at the moment.
Might need it later though.
Yes.
All right, I am going to.
Which one is which?
This is Damakos. This is Andrum.
I am going to just make sure this works here. Work here. All right. I am going to cast level 3 Moonbeam right here. That's under the level 3 Moonbeam right there.
All right. Sorry, where were you casting it? I was reading the spell.
Right here. So it's a Constitution saving throw.
Does a moonbeam work underground?
That's why I was looking. I
There's
don't see.
nothing that says that it.
There's
doesn't.
no limitation to where you do it. That's what I was looking for. I don't see.
It only
anything.
happens on a full moon.
Really,
No, I'm kidding.
dude.
That would be useless.
that would
that would suck.
suck.
DC
Yeah.
14 Constitution.
Or at night?
He
That'd
is
be a
gonna
little bit.
fail.
Sweet. Okay, so then that's 3d. See,
Level 3. Yep, 3d10 radiant damage.
yeah, 3d. Alright, that's 10.
10.
Yeah, 10 damage.
Okay. So you watch as this radiant beam of light comes down from seemingly the ceiling of the cavern that you guys are in and just engulfs Damakos in this radiant light. Upon it striking him, you can see visibly he's taking this like searing damage on his skin. And within moments of him actually beginning to take that damage, you watch as his form shifts out of this human Luskan guard form and directly into the form of a dark elf. You can now see he's wearing the dark leather armor from before, dark, almost black skin, bright white hair, and a dark gray scimitar on his belt.
And then as he does that, so that was my main action. My bonus action. Oh, never mind. I take it back.
So anything else?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a couple steps back. I do that right here.
Okay. All right, Edwind.
I'm just gonna be like, what the is happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't understand any of the conversation. I'm like, Doll, what did you say?
In response, I'm just gonna yell attack.
And I'm just gonna like, all right. So I'm gonna use
You just
Where's
hear
my
Carlos
mouse?
shout attack into the wall that he's peeing on.
yeah,
You guys ain't gonna let me get to respond, but
You're
I had already drew my sword and it's on fire.
Yeah, we already
Yeah.
knew that. You told us you're going to the.
yeah.
You're
that's-
just like
that's fine.
attack, attack.
Carlos drew his
Yeah.
sword.
On the wall with
What's
P.
you gonna do, Edwin?
I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna go. Which one is which? Remind me, please. There's one.
Damakos and Andrum.
All right. I'm gonna 5,
What?
10, 15.
I saw it happen on both people at the same time.
Are we both the same color? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're basically both the same color. That's fun.
I'm this one.
Damakos is on the right, Andrum is on the left. So you're gonna move right up next to this guy. Is that what
Yep.
I saw? Okay.
And I'm gonna cast the light cantrip as
Okay.
he's kind of going towards Dahl. I'm gonna cast the light cantrip, and I'm gonna just like make my hand just start glowing this incredibly bright light, and I'm gonna just touch his face with it,
Okay.
and hopefully stick the light cantrip to his face.
Okay. Make a dexterity check.
Okay. That is a 14.
Okay. So you watch as you lunge forward and you cast this cantrip on your hand, your hand begins to glow extremely bright, and you reach it out towards his face, and he kind of rears back with his weapon ready to block, but you watch as he hesitates as this bright light is obviously very blinding to him, and he almost takes a stumbling step back in response to this happening, rather than trying to defend himself against what you're doing. It's obviously having a very strong effect on him. Anything else you're going to do aside from that cantrip?
Does it actually reach his face, or did he step back?
Oh yeah, it's visibly like blinding him right now.
Perfect. Would you allow me to use my bonus action to well, no, never mind. I won't do that. You're right. Yeah, that's it. I'm done. I'm just gonna yell, "We need them alive!"
And I'm going to respond, we need one of them alive.
Koros,
You're right.
Which one did you just attack?
this one,
Yeah.
The leader,
Damakos.
the one more
Didn't I
likely
have
to
the
need
same-
alive.
Initiative as Edwin.
Yes, you did.
Oh shoot! Yep, I knew I was gonna forget. I pulled this off of a encounter that I had built before you
Ash.
came back to the party.
Oh,
Your name wasn't in there. I thank you for catching that.
We're
Not
used to you
cool.
not being in.
Sorry, Matt.
you're good. You're good.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I will go up to Damakos, and he's the one with the moonbeam,
Yep.
right? Does that affect me?
No, because it's in his 5-foot radius.
just
so
his
you're
5
just
foot.
outside of it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have
don't
to
know what it
touch
would
him.
do is
If you, it's fine if you attack into that square as long as you don't yourself enter it.
Okay. I'm gonna reach out and grab some pressure points on his shoulder and attempt to make him sleep.
Okay.
In the moonbeam. Ooh.
Into the moonbeam.
Wow, it sounds like a
Is there a save
sounds like
for
a
that?
Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah.
no. Where is it?
Or a spin-off 007 movie.
I'd watch it.
I can't find it.
Here. Yeah, I can't find it either.
It's called Touch of Exhaustion in my character.
You just have so many
Where the heck
things.
is it?
There it is. Found it. This spell sends creatures into a magical slumber. Roll 5d8. The total is how many hit points of creatures this spell can affect. A creature you touch is affected according to those hit points. The creature affected falls unconscious until the spell ends. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's a little different for me. I have to touch them. I can't choose a range or multiple people or whatever. But
Yeah.
okay, so I'll roll 5d8. 32.
Go gadget math.
Okay. Creature's hit points must be equal to or less than the remaining total for that creature to be affected. And then blah blah blah. Higher levels, blah blah blah. Okay. You reach out, you grab the just the right spots on this dark elf, and cast your sleep spell. He's still kind of stumbling back from the brightness that's just been placed right in his face, so he doesn't seem to react a ton to you actually reaching out and grabbing him like that, but the spell has no effect and he does not fall asleep.
Okay. When I notice that, and as my hand is on his shoulder, I'm gonna like try and one inch punch his face.
Okay.
Well, now you know Kung Fu.
Do you have 2 actions?
2 attacks per action, yeah. Or, well, I guess does sleep not count as a attack?
Sleep would be an attack or
Okay.
an action.
Just an action.
You'd have to use an action
So
to
it's
use your
just-
attack, and then when you use an action for an attack, you get 2.
Okay, I will. Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah, that's it for me then.
yell, stop trying to kill him.
And
Keep him
now
alive.
That brings us to Koros.
All right. When I see him do that and him like, I'm remembering when he touched the other guy a long time ago and made him fall asleep, and I see that it doesn't work on him. I'm gonna yell out to hex with you and hex this guy,
Okay.
and he will fail on Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
And I'm gonna step here, and I'm gonna attack him twice.
Okay. Go ahead.
Where is my door? All right.
Hex with you.
All right, 16.
16. Let me double check. Does not hit.
Okay, and then second attack is 26,
26 will hit.
and then it'll be what is it? 3? I'll just do this. That one I'm gonna change. To 2. Okay, so 9 points.
9 points. Got it. So you get a solid hit on him. Anything else for Koros?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna say we need to hurt him.
All right. That brings us to Uwe.
Perfect. I will attack him.
All right.
20.
That'll do it. Roll damage.
Perfect.
That +8 is just devastating.
It's awesome. I'm also going to use the sneak attack.
Yep, that works. Do it.
Wait, that would be 4d6. We'll see.
Oh, we don't want to kill him.
Well, he's not going to die. Tell you what, it'll hurt.
21. Okay. Anything else for Uwe?
I'll make an attempt to grapple him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
It's just straight strength.
You can use athletics if you'd like. If that
I would love to do that.
would help.
28.
Holy frick. He rolls. And not a 28. Nope. He is going to fail against that. So you will essentially lunge forward at him and reach out and attempt to grab him. And to the best of your ability, with him stumbling back and struggling to even see what's happening right now, you're able to grapple him, get your arms around him, and hold him pretty tightly. At this point, you're essentially you're still standing, but this does bring you forward into the moonbeam. That being said, make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yeah.
2. Nice.
Go ahead and roll that damage, Namo.
Shoot.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
That's it's 18.
Can I use my uncanny dodge?
How
On
does
being hurt?
Never mind.
It's not an attack against you, so technically no.
Yeah, you'd have to have
Alright.
evasion.
I am at 20 HP, which is less than half.
So that puts you in the moonbeam with Damokos in your arms. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope. Other than me letting you know I'm under half for your house rules.
Oh.
That's not no.
Yeah, but it
it's-
didn't do
it's not
half
when you're
damage.
under half. It's when you take more than half of your total damage in one hit.
Ah,
Like if
I see.
something really devastating hits you, it's kind of just a shocking event.
Gotcha. Then I will just trust that somebody will see how hurt I just got from the moonbeam. That's a healer in our party and will heal me.
Okay. So you
My
watch
name's
as,
Adon.
you
I am
watch
friend.
as,
I prepared that spell.
Andrum Andrum takes a step up to Edwin, who just ran up next to Damokos and blinded him. And he's going to attempt to attack Edwin. He's going to use his multi-attack and make 2 melee attacks against Edwin. His first attack is going to be not going to hit. That's super low. His second attack is going to be 1 higher than that. So he takes 2 swings at Edwin. Also kind of partially blinded by this light coming from Edwin's hand.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's just not quite on point with his swings. Damokos is going to attempt to break Ui's grapple. So we're going to make another strength check, Ui versus Damokos.
Right.
23.
23 will do it. So you watch as Damokos just struggles and pushes and pulls and cannot break free from Ui's grasp. And with that, that'll bring us to Dahl.
All righty. I'm going to go ahead and attack this guy.
Okay.
And that is going to be 21.
That'll hit. Roll damage.
All right. And damage is 9.
Okay.
And then do I get a second attack?
You get a second attack on another person, so the other guy's not in range, so no.
Oh, I thought I had 2 attacks per action.
Was it 2-weapon fighting that you had?
It was 2 weapons.
Oh, but currently we're not.
You don't have 2 weapons in your hand, right?
Right.
That's why.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're just
gotcha.
using that one sword.
All righty, and that would be it for me.
Okay.
But can I hit him with a open hand?
No, that'd be another action to attack.
Okay.
So that'll bring us to a Dawn.
Okay.
Dawn is going to use the new sprint feature and run in the opposite direction. No. What does Adon have?
Straight into the wall.
Straight into the wall. Let me remind myself real quick what he has. That's 6. That's also 6. Yeah, let's do it. He's going to use 6 creatures. Let's do mass healing word. And that's going to affect all of you guys. And you're going to regenerate 1d4 plus 3. 1. You're going to regenerate 4 hit points.
It seems just so useless.
It seems like a good spell ish.
An error message every time I try to do something on here. There we go. All right. That, I think, does it for Adon. I don't think he has a second action.
Did anybody feel that little tingle?
I felt a Peter
I feel
tingle.
mildly better. Nom namo.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have to
So-
pee anymore.
After seeing Uwe kind of jump in to my moonbeam over here, I'm gonna run up to right here, and as my action, I'm going to move the moonbeam kind of out and around and then over to this guy.
Okay.
And then I'll have to do a constitution saving throw.
That was what, DC 13?
14.
14. He's going to fail that.
Yeah.
What's the damage?
It's 21.
21. Well done. All right.
And I think and I'm also, as a bonus action, I am gonna also do Healing Word.
Okay.
Let's check.
You can do that as a bonus?
Yeah, I just looked under my bonus action tab and it said I could.
Nice. All right.
So, yep,
one
one
bonus
casting, one bonus action. So,
Yep.
1d4 plus 3.
That's what I did, and it was a 1.
Mine is a 1 as well. So that's 4 more for
Heck yeah.
Oh, man.
Was it
Well,
healing word or it's only one, right?
You did mass healing word, right?
I did
Yeah,
mass.
so you have to
Yeah, so
target
this
that.
is
You're
just
allowed
this
to
is
target.
standard healing word, and I'm gonna do it towards Uwe.
Okay.
So
I
yeah,
appreciate
4
it
more,
greatly.
and I'm just gonna yell, "I'm sorry, man."
All
I go,
right.
It's
Koros.
okay. Somebody just get him.
What? Me?
Yeah,
Is
your
it
turn.
Koros or is it
I'm
me?
sorry, Ash.
It's me and
Ash.
And
me,
Edwin.
Ash.
And Edwin.
Yeah,
Did I skip Edwin?
yeah. You skipped me.
What is up with my turn tracker?
Your turn
thing?
tracker sucks.
It does suck. Go ahead.
I
Edwin.
like a turd.
My question is
But it
because
does,
I'm maintaining this cantrip on my hand in his face. Does that count as a partial grapple type of thing? Am I still actively engaged in that, or did I land that?
No, so it's close enough to him now that it's still really bright in your vicinity, but Ui's grapple on him, you're not touching him anymore. You're
Okay.
just brightening the area.
All right. I'm gonna spin it around then, and just kind of reach around from the other side. I'm assuming. Oh no, he's facing me, so I'm just gonna kind of do the same thing towards him, towards Andrum, to try to kind of disable him a little bit as my action.
Okay. Cool. He seems a little bit. He still seems affected by it, but he seems slightly less affected by it than obviously the dramatic effect that happened on Damokos, given the fact that he's already been in this light for a little while and he's just kind of struggling to look past it, if that makes sense.
Okay. And as a quickened spell, I'm gonna cast mirror image. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh no, I was looking for mirror image and it actually says minor illusion, so it's not a mirror image. So cool. Never mind. I'm not gonna do that.
All right.
Bummer, man.
Cool. Is that it for Edwin?
That's it.
All right, Ash.
Yes.
Last time I used an encounter that I built 6 weeks ago. This initiative order sucks. All right, go ahead, Ash.
Well, I'm gonna keep trying to make him go to sleep, But the old-fashioned way.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep, go to sleep,
I'm
go to
gonna-
sleep, go to sleep, go to
Go
sleep.
to sleep. Go to sleep.
It starts singing.
Yep.
Sleep.
All right, what you gonna do, Ash?
Channeling my Tony Stark. I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Go to sleep.
Okay.
Sleep, go to sleep.
Go to sleep spell.
Are you doing this in a method of trying to knock him out, or are you hitting him as hard as you can?
No.
Are you pulling the punch at all? Is what I'm getting at.
No.
Okay, go ahead. And,
Well,
No,
Are you-
I want to make him unconscious. I don't want to kill him, but
okay.
But you're using the sleep.
But you're using the
Oh,
sleep
but-
grab, right?
no,
You're
I'm
not
not.
using-
I just
He's
said I was
punching him in
using
the
the
face.
old-fashioned way to make him
Oh.
sleep
Go ahead and roll that
by
attack.
punching him in the face.
Oh, that's gonna be luck.
18.
18 will hit.
Okay.
Roll damage.
49.
5.
5. Got it. You strike him in the face, and he continues wrestling with Uwe.
Well, I'm gonna hit him again.
Okay.
Since that didn't work.
Go to sleep.
Go
Go
to
to
sleep.
sleep.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Go sleep.
Oh no, man! Another 3. 10.
Nope. No hit.
Okay. He's not going to sleep.
Anything else?
Well, you missed.
No, man.
All right, Koros.
I'm committing.
I'm just so confused. Why didn't you try to make him sleep? And he is taking his headphones off.
Are you shouting "Go to sleep"? Are you, as a character, are you literally shouting "Go to
He
sleep"?
doesn't,
Go to
he doesn't have
sleep.
his headphones on right now.
Oh, why does he have his headphones?
He's talking to someone.
His mom came in and told him to go to sleep.
But not the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
And,
Wait. Here he is.
All right.
There he is.
There
Are
he
you
is.
actually saying as you hit him, "Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep"?
Yeah, why not?
Yes. Okay, cool. All right. Changes my turn next time.
All right, I'm gonna say, why didn't you make him go to sleep with your not magic? And I'm going to cast Curse of Bloated Agony on him.
Okay.
And I'm going to take some hit points so that I can, ouch, make it last for a minute. So he's going to get real fat.
Yep. Uwe, you can
Uwe.
feel him start to swell in your
So
arms.
I didn't say it, but he has disadvantage on Constitution saving throw, and now he has disadvantage on Strength and Dexterity
Uwe's
check.
holding on to him right now.
Uwe's holding on to him.
Yeah, Uwe's grappling him right now.
How does he look, other than fat and ugly?
He looks hurt. He looks bloodied pretty bad.
All right, I'm gonna move. Over here. Since
Okay.
he's grappling, he can't like get me, right?
Correct.
And I'm gonna attack this guy twice.
Go ahead and roll that.
Well, that's not a lot. 4 plus something, so no.
Nope.
There we go. 23.
23 will hit.
And this is just going to do
1 billion.
16.
Ooh, 16. Very nice. All right. Landing a solid hit on that guy. He looks pretty bloodied now as well.
Yeah. And I'm gonna still yell, Ash, make him sleep.
All right. That
yes.
brings us to Uwe. Currently standing, but grappling this guy as you can feel his skin swelling under your arms.
Nice. So I'm assuming we're like kind of like in a position where they can still punch him in the face. So what I'm going to attempt to do is get behind him and then kick out his knee to pull him to the ground.
Okay. Roll a dex or strength, whichever you prefer.
Well, which dex would I use? Acrobatics, probably.
Or is it just dex
Apply.
straight?
Right, Dex, right?
Yeah, you can use acrobatics if you prefer.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Animal
plus
handling.
11, of course you're going to use
Wow.
acrobatics.
Yikes.
Ooh.
Oh
That
man,
really sucks.
that's great.
Good thing I have another thing that I can do.
Okay.
Use
So
your
you start to
Dice.
like try to move your grip on him in an attempt to get this leg swing out from under him. And as you're swinging the leg, he's kind of moving in your grasp as well, trying to pull out of it. Your leg swing misses him, and you lose your balance just slightly, just enough. You don't fall over or have any kind of negative thing aside from the fact that you release the grapple that you have on him.
Okay. Well,
Grab him again.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do. So
As I see him do that, I'm like, don't let him go.
what's up?
Do you have like 2 actual actions, or do you have
Well, I mean, it's like
2 attacks?
2 weapon fighting, so
No.
technically,
nope.
Yeah.
I'll punch him in
you
the
wouldn't-
butt.
So your attempt to trip him would be your action for the turn.
So you only have a bonus action left.
So unless you have something you can use as a bonus action.
My bonus action would be 2 weapon fighting. So I guess if I had,
If you had a
weapon,
second weapon, you could do that, but you don't have a second one equipped.
All right then.
That's
That
just
is
if
all
you take
too.
an attack with one weapon, you can use a bonus to attack with a second. So
Yeah.
you've got your I'm looking at the wrong person.
My scimitar would be out.
So you've got your cunning action or your fast hands.
Hmm. Does he have anything on him I can steal?
He's holding a backpack basically that's
Really?
around him like a backpack. Aside from that, he's got the sheath on his belt, and that's pretty much it. Other than like the piece.
I'm trying to steal his sword with friggin' fast hands, I guess.
Is that like a disarm? What is that?
Just gonna steal it out of his sheath. I don't know.
Sleight of hand. Yeah, you can do it as a sleight of hand. Go for it.
Sick. 25.
Oh my goodness.
It's pretty smart. That's
Using what you have to your advantage for
You know
sure.
what? I'll allow it. So you reach out
Oh.
and you actually manage in this kind of this like tussle that's happening right now as you kind of trip and fall backwards, he's kind of breaking out of your grasp. And as that happens, his hand kind of swings back and he's kind of like trying to regain his like awareness of what's going on around him. And in that just split second that he's not paying attention to where you went, you reach out and manage to do a little like chop to his wrist and snatch the sword from his hand.
Perfect. Sick. Okay. I'm just gonna hold.
So we'll say at this point you've got your like disguised short sword in your right hand and his scimitar now in your left.
Perfect.
Now you've got 2 weapon fighting.
Yeah. That now brings us back to their turns. So
Oh, boy.
Andrum, starting his turn in the Moonbeam, is going to make a Constitution saving throw against the Moonbeam. That's gonna be con plus that's 9. So he's gonna fail that. I'm pretty sure. What's the damage on that?
Oh, the moonbeam. Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry, man. I was
Oh,
checking out
okay.
these mushrooms.
Your inner nom nomo is coming out.
Yep. Sorry. I was looking up my next move. That's 17.
17. Dang. Yeah, he is hurt real bad. So at this point, you watch as Andrum
Which
turns.
did he make a Constitution saving throw?
He did.
Oh, he made it.
He failed it. He took the full.
Okay, so he transformed back into
Oh,
his
that's right. Yeah,
elf
he
self,
loses
right?
his. Yep, he loses his shape as well. So you guys watch as Andrum also shifts back into this dark elf form, looking very, very much like Damokos with the dark skin, white hair, and leather armor.
Wouldn't
Correct.
Uwe
Sorry,
have done that too?
Uwe switched back too then earlier, because he missed his.
If it was a shape
That,
changer.
oh, thank you so much
I'm
for
sorry.
reminding me of that. Yes, Uwe, as soon as you jumped into the moonbeam and grabbed Damokos, you actually, with the damage that you took from the moonbeam, shifted back to your normal form. So your armor, appearance, swords, weapons, everything is all your stuff now again.
Cool.
At
Not
this
good.
point, Andrum is going to go first. He's going to use his first attack against Edwind. That's going to be a 11 to hit. And then he's going to use his second attack and swing over at Koros, which is going to be a 21 to hit.
Oh, that'll hit.
Which is going to do 5 slashing damage and 6 poison damage. Then we have Damokos, who is going to also use his 2-weapon fighting, which means he's going to take bloat damage. His first attack
blowed up.
is going to
He's
be
gonna
against
get blowed
Uwe.
up.
What is he using?
He's using a scimitar. Oh, I'm
Does
sorry.
he
He
have the
doesn't
one-
have
I
a
stole it.
scimitar anymore. You're right.
Oh!
Dang, I need to keep track of this stuff. So he actually, let me double check, make sure. I don't think he has. No, he doesn't have anything else.
Does he even know what's happening to him? He's fat. He's in pain. Someone's got his weapon. He's blind.
He is going to lunge at Uwe in an attempt, basically like lunge at the sword in an attempt to grab onto Uwe's arm to try to get his sword back. So let's do a dexterity check against.
Does it remind me?
And he has disadvantage on strength and dex.
Am I a dex saving throw then?
Yeah.
26.
Yep. So basically like the easiest thing you've ever done. He kind of stumbles forward and just slowly reaches for the thing, and you kind of just step out of the way and dodge it entirely.
I'm gonna get it.
And he looks up and he's like,
I'm a
"Oh
little fat.
man!"
I'm a little slow.
Yeah, that basically does it for him. He's jacked up real bad. So that'll bring us to Dahl.
All right. Well, Dahl is going to attack this guy.
Okay.
And I'm going to, let's see, roll 13.
No hit.
No hits.
No hit on a 13.
Now, on my actions, I have attacks per action 2. Is that is only
That's
for?
where it comes from.
You can attack twice.
Attacks per action 2. Yeah, that's two attacks per action. Yeah.
Okay, so that's either with a sword or with. Do you have to use
You
a?
can use the same
You
sword.
can use whatever
Yeah.
you want. It's
All right,
just a
same
heavy
sword.
attack.
Let's try that
All
again.
right.
24.
That'll hit. Roll
Does that
damage.
mean when he's using Horde Breaker that he gets 2 attacks on everything that's around him?
That was my
Is it
understanding.
a bonus action?
Horde
or is
Breaker is a bonus action,
So you can only do that once.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
but to everyone within 5 feet.
It's the same as like dual weapon fighting. You can,
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
if you have 2, you can only attack 3 times.
That would be insane if Dahl could do like 8 attacks on
All right, and that is 12 damage.
I keep
That would
waiting for
be
you to
way
make me
overpowered.
faster again,
Right.
Right?
Edwin, and so I can attack 3, 6, whatever, how many million times I can hit.
Oh, you want that
Dahl.
haste?
How would you like to do this?
Oh,
I just want to shish kebab him right to the ground.
Okay, perfect. You watch as Dahl kind of in his fight with him, he takes one swing and the dark elf kind of parries the first one, and while he's retaliating kind of backwards or like recoiling off of that, Dahl does like a back swing with his sword and just goes straight into his chest right above the armor right here and just catches him and takes him all the way down to the ground and pins him against the ground. And you watch as the dark elf goes completely motionless under the sword.
Yay!
All right.
That brings us to a Dawn. And
I'm a friend.
I'm just gonna have a Dawn do another healing spell on everybody. It's gonna be, let's do prayer. Let's see. That one does a lot more. So let's do prayer of healing. Everybody around. I didn't realize there was such a big difference between those two. Gets 9 hit points back.
Heck yeah.
And that'll do it for Adon. Let's go to Nom Namo.
All right, so
Namo, we want him alive.
I know. So I've
I'm just yelling it out.
yeah,
as
no, I had
everybody
heard that
say.
already. Him yelling at Uwe like, we need to we need to keep him held or whatever. So I'm gonna, in this motion, gonna continue to run up towards him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kind of run up towards him, like to jump and tackle him, right? Try and tackle him to the ground.
Okay.
But as I do that, I am going to turn into a bear.
Okay, that's better because I was seeing in my brain like little Yoda flying in.
Well,
and,
he's
like, trying
no,
to
no, but
grab
he's
somebody.
still in soldier size, right? So I
Yeah.
haven't changed shape yet. So
right.
What are
so
you doing? You're gonna lose your disguise.
well,
Uwe's already
Yeah.
undisguised.
It's already.
I figure
happened.
it's off already. So I run in and I tackle
Not
him.
if we
but
pretend to
as
be
I go
them
to
and keep
tackle him, I
prisoner.
change into a bear.
Roll a strength check as the bear.
Strength. That's gonna help.
Aggressive roll.
20.
Yep. That'll
And I'm
succeed.
just trying to basically belly flop on him and like land on him
Okay.
and pin him to the ground.
Let me just grab a. Oh, that's perfect.
It's a bear ride.
37. You used the rug. It's perfect.
That's how I envision it.
Did you like swan dive and you lift your head way back
Perfect. So
too?
you got him grappled. Edwin.
Well, I was trying to knock him like prone underneath me. Like
Yeah,
maybe.
he's effectively grappled underneath you.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna.
And
oh,
my moonbeam's gonna disappear.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Well, it doesn't have to, but I'm gonna concentrate on stopping the spell.
Okay. Edwin?
I'm gonna kind of. Do I see any part of this guy under this giant bear that's landing on top of him?
You can see little sections of him. Yeah, he's not like.
Do I see his face?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm gonna go up to his face and I'm gonna say, "Surrender, or die."
I will never surrender to the likes of you.
To the likes of who? You don't even know who we are. Do you yield? I'm gonna try to like end combat, obviously, but I'm like, do we
Okay.
have
roll a
conversating?
strength check? Yeah, we'll pull out of the combat thing. Roll another strength check. Nom Namo.
Another
Yeah.
sting. Please.
And as soon as time
Strength or
permits,
dexterity, whatever you want to use to try to keep him there.
as soon as time permits, I'm going through the bag of the elf that I killed.
This one's a little lower. It's 12.
Okay. So
He has disadvantage though, so
Yeah, he does have
I don't know if that-
disadvantage. So,
he does have disadvantage.
should I roll with advantage then?
No,
No.
I'll just roll him with disadvantage. Let me just double check his numbers here. Okay, you maintain grapple on him.
Cool.
And he just continues to kind of struggle and grunt and whatnot underneath you.
So it's Edwin. Like, so what happens now?
Yeah.
So we'll drop out of combat.
Yeah.
He's going to keep struggling, so it is going to be time sensitive, but we'll drop out of the combat now at this point.
All right, I'm gonna. Hey, Doll, can you help him hold this?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Do we have any rope? Perhaps so we can tie him.
I don't
Bind
have
him with?
anything. I'm just in this. We are what we have.
Uwe, do you have any rope?
Namo strength check with advantage.
You know what?
Again?
I might have some rope.
Yeah, it's time sensitive.
I'm gonna continue kind of yelling at him.
11.
I have
Still got
rope.
him.
Get some rope.
Tie him up. Tie
What did
him
you
up.
say?
Tie
What
him
did
up.
Tim say?
You still got him.
All right, I'm gonna go and search through his bags.
I'm gonna take the rope. Give me the rope, Uwe, and I'm gonna start tying my
Here's the rope.
sailor knots into
Okay.
around his hand and
Koros, do a sleight of hand or dexterity check, just because since he's under a bear right now to actually get to his bags.
Oh, I can't like kind of scoot him or anything.
He's under a bear.
Oh, well, I got 22, so or 20, 24.
yes.
Yeah, that'll do it. So you kind of reach into his bag, and what you're able to get your hands on to start with, where are my notes here? You get your hand on a couple of like small sacks that come out of the bag that are kind of tied around the top, and you recognize them as the things that they had pulled out when they had stopped to camp that food was coming out of previously. I'm sorry, what was happening with the rest of you?
I was attempting to tie the rope that Uwe gave me into my sailor knots and to kind of restrain him more that a bear wouldn't have to hold him down.
Okay. Roll a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand. What do I have on that?
That's going to be a sleight of hand check to determine how well you're able to tie that section. And you're tying what, his hands or his feet?
If I was assuming I could see his hand because I was near his face.
Sure. Yeah. We'll assume at this point that Namo is kind of adjusting to let you in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and like I can, instead of just like using my weight, I'm gonna kind of put both of my feet on him, right?
Okay.
Kind of pulled my legs under, and I'm standing on him now with both feet, like two feet across
Yeah.
his chest, torso.
I got a 15.
Just using my
for that.
weight to hold him down.
Okay. Roll one more
Strength.
strength or dexterity.
Did you hear my number?
Namo to hold him.
No, it wasn't. Was it?
Okay, I'm gonna use my
What was it?
inspiration I still have to roll one more time.
Oh man.
Did you roll a natural one?
No, I rolled a 2. If I had a natural 1, I could have rolled again. It was luck.
That's
'Cause
right.
I'm lucky. So, but I got a 2, which is
Okay, go ahead
basically
and use
my
that
version of a
inspiration.
1. My crap. Okay, I got 8.
Okay. So, as you begin to adjust to try to get your weight on his arms and legs, he actually finds just the right spot to be able to pull himself free from your grasp and begins to attempt as best as he can to start to run in
I'm
the
gonna
opposite
try.
direction.
I'm
gonna-
going after him.
Did
I'm-
Doll not help him?
I was gonna say I thought I was helping hold him
Yeah,
down.
he was grappling him too.
Oh.
It actually would have been with advantage, so roll one more.
Okay, you're right.
Namo.
Yeah,
Like
what?
there's 3 of us holding this.
He
thing
he
down.
wasted his inspiration then.
Okay,
But that's
so I'm gonna call this my inspiration roll
If-
then. So,
sure.
all right, that's 13.
Okay. He rolled a natural 20, so he still
Let's say,
succeeds.
Ash,
Okay,
we put
I'm
him
running
to sleep.
after him. I'm running
Well, no,
after
but,
him.
like,
I already
there's-
tried.
there's three
Okay.
of us like holding him down. He's still able to get up.
Those of you who are running after him, roll a athletics check.
Okay.
Um,
Is the rope tied to him?
27.
It didn't make it in time. I was gonna
Okay.
do the rope right before we did another
Keep rolling
27.
threes.
27.
and oops, give me 1 second. 25.
I got a
And
natural
he
20
rolled that
on the roll.
natural 20 with disadvantage, right?
He actually did.
So
You-
we
you
got
rolled
2
two
20s in a
natural
row.
20s.
Shockingly enough, he actually did.
What the?
So we had a 27 and a 25.
Mm-hmm.
I had a 20.
Okay, so you guys chase after him, and simultaneously, both of you catch up to him on either side. As you are closing within a couple feet of him, you can see him glancing back over his shoulder and seeing visibly you guys gaining on him very, very quickly. Also to the fact that he is just bleeding everywhere, just bruised and bloodied and nearing death. You guys watch as you close in on him and you get within about 5 feet of him full sprint. You can see his hand reach down.
I've got
towards his
the light on my hand. Does that matter?
It does. It has an
Okay.
effect here, but
Okay.
you nevertheless watch as he reaches down, grabs for his boot. You see a small, what looks to be just a tiny little dagger of some sort come out of his boot, and you both kind of instinctually
I'm
are
gonna use-
ready. You've been in this combat scenario, so you're ready for it to come back in your direction, but you watch as his hand comes up towards his face, and he flops over in front of you,
Mm.
a pool of blood
He-
kind of draining out
He
underneath.
killed himself. Oh wait, I can heal him, right? I can heal him. Let's give that a shot. I actually have a spell.
Try.
Cure.
Yeah,
Tie him up first.
I'm gonna tie him. I'm gonna tie his legs.
Yeah, let's
I'm
tie
gonna
him
tie his
up.
arms. And he's
Okay.
gonna be
You've
in.
got to be fast
do it as
because
fast as
he's
you
got to
possibly
roll
can.
death saves.
Edwin,
Yeah.
make
He could
a
really be dead very quickly.
Edwin, make a sleight of hand check for the roll.
That is a 18,
Okay.
and then
Somebody say something about healing him. I'm kind of getting up as a
Yeah,
bear.
I-
I'm
oh,
starting to
no,
walk over there.
no, I'm waiting for him to play out Doll's heal because I have
Yeah.
a heal as well. But
Yeah.
I'm already tying up the rope.
So I'm gonna go ahead and cast a Cure Wounds, and that is 8.
Okay. Give me 1 sec. That's not what I wanted. All right, you cast this healing spell. You watch as certain parts of his body seem to react to the healing spell, but he doesn't appear right away to regain any form of consciousness.
Can I use my my ASMR healing hands and kind of just reach out to his his neck that he just is oozing blood out and just kind of activate that, and it causes him to regain a number of hit points equal to my level, so 6 hit points to his
Go ahead.
to whatever I touch. So I did that.
Okay. You reach out and you use the spell, and again, it seems like the skin and the gash and stuff like that. It was basically a gouge, like straight into his throat, and it appears to be like you can see like a slight reaction in some of it, but it doesn't appear to be closing all the way.
What's Adon doing?
Adon's standing in the back.
I'm gonna. I guess I finally made my way there. I'm just gonna reach down and close his eyelids.
Okay. Just for gameplay sake, for information, when I am controlling a player character that's not present, I will generally never make preemptive moves on their behalf. If you guys request them to do something, I will react in the way that I would expect that player would, but I will never preemptively do anything on their behalf. Just
That makes sense.
Adon, hello.
I'll yell it. Hey Don, why don't you come heal this guy?
Okay, I'll try.
He's too far gone. There's no point.
Do you want me to try?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try. So
It's worth a shot.
Uses, let me see what he has. Should just be the same one, I'd assume. Let's do Cure Wounds. So he walks up, casts Cure Wounds on the Dark Elf.
What
That is gonna
level does he
do
have that at?
4th.
4th level.
So
Oh,
I'll-
4d8 plus 3. Dang.
Yep, I'll cast at 4th level. 4d8 plus 3.
Somebody get that dagger away from him.
His hands are tied.
Yeah.
I think it's embedded in his face.
Would no one take it out?
I'll take it out and throw it down the hallway.
He casts the spell, and you watch as it kind of goes over his body and has basically the same effect as the rest of the spells.
What did I
Hey,
find in
does
his
any-
bag?
The first time you reached in, you just found little.
I'm gonna
sacks
reach back in.
tied up. So now at this point, with no kind of chaotic situation going on, you reach through the bag, and what you're able to find are several sacks filled with different types of like food and things like that. Previously, what you had seen them eat was mostly just like mushrooms and things like that, and from time to time some pieces of like bread and stuff like that. And you find insects and actually bat meat inside.
If I find anything that's not paper, I'm not looking at it.
Gotcha. Okay. So aside from that, you find a book very similar to what you found on the ones that were in the place that you guys fought him before. This one has a depiction of a spider web on the front, and you find some documents that appear to be in just a strange language.
I'm gonna take those documents, walk over to Doll, and say, "Hey, can you understand what this says?"
Yeah, I'd love to take a look at him. I'm gonna check the other guy's backpack.
Okay.
The backpack's not going anywhere.
Well, we have a thief amongst us, so I
The other guy's backpack
Tyler's
is
raising his hand. I mean, Ui's raising his hand.
the other backpack is similar to the first, with the exception that it doesn't have the documents or the book. It's basically just
Okay.
a bunch of food and stuff like that.
Punch and
All right.
check.
Are you trying to get my attention, or is Ui raising his hand?
Ui is trying to get the attention of Edwin. Yo, Eddie, you have
Yeah.
electricity hands, right?
I have electricity, a lot of things.
You
What's up?
you want to try to strike this thing with some lightning?
You want them? You want them to burn too?
No, I just want like your minimal effort level of lightning.
Okay, I'm
Shocking
gonna-
grasp.
I'm gonna walk Koros away from the body
Mhm.
while we read this. See what
Okay.
if I can read any of this.
For giggles, I'm gonna just use my staff and its lightning power to lightly not roast this guy
Okay.
right over his
So
chest.
you are still in that shape-shifted form. However, you feel like you are capable of still casting that through the weapon that you're holding, as though your staff had been shape-shifted into this sword that you're holding.
Mhm.
So you're able to use that still, and you watch as it kind of just
Boop.
fries his body and skin, and it kind of just like shakes it around.
Right.
It still doesn't seem to regain any form of consciousness.
What was that for? What is?
I heard something.
These papers might be
in the
okay.
woods.
It might be enough. I don't think he was going to give us anything else. And I hand
Yeah.
the paper to Doll.
The
Alright.
documents. So, for the sake of consistency, to not be story breaking and game breaking, in spite of the fact that I just made that discovery minutes before this session that he speaks Undercommon. The way that this document is written is not legible, despite the fact that you're able to, you have enough knowledge of speaking the language, but whether this is just written differently or your reading of the language is not up to, you know, their native level, you're not able to really make out much of it.
Nuts. All right.
Make a history check just to see if there's any little bits that you can pull out of it.
All right. 9.
Yeah, there's not really much you can make out of it.
Right. Look, this is probably as far as we're gonna make it with this little journey. I say we head back and bring what we have. There's no point in going forward. We don't know what their end goal was, and the longer that we stay here, the more likely they're to send people this way. So I think we should backtrack. Does anybody have any thoughts?
Sounds
Yeah,
like
I
a
don't
plan.
want to keep going.
This could be exactly what we need. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Somebody
Did we lose?
disappeared.
Josh's video.
That's Josh's video.
Yeah.
But I can see him.
Yeah, I can see
feed.
him on the stream.
Yeah, he's using one directly to the stream, and then he's using a different one just to go to us. I'm assuming that he probably fell asleep.
Well, I can see in the dark, but I can't see. I have no idea where they were going, and there's caves everywhere.
Well, we don't want to go where they were going. We want to go back.
Yes.
Their answer.
I will say this though, like those of us who are still in disguise, if we come across more patrols, we need to pretend that these are our prisoners.
Agreed.
And I can tie a slip knot bowline that I can it looks like your hands are secured, but you can easily escape on your own
That's fair
Yeah,
enough.
when do you want to do that?
when we move on.
Okay.
We should be
I'll
very
set
ready
that up.
for anything. I'm not sure how often they send guards down here. I mean, we haven't come across any other guards.
No, but I can hand you the little cuffs and you can put them on in a jiff if you need them.
Yes.
Who's yeah,
That's a
see
good
that.
plan.
Nam Namo and Ui are the ones who are not.
Yes, they're the only ones who.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna have to do the video thing, huh?
Yeah, let's
Wait.
just pause real quick to do the video.
I am doll.
emblems and tattoos and whatever.
No tattoo.
Would they be? Well, you haven't looked in the right places.
Ooh.
Would they be similar to anything I saw on the Queen or in my cell?
Make a history check.
I'm rolling so many threes, I don't know which dice to use.
Doesn't matter.
Just use the virtual one.
Yeah,
No,
everyone's
because
rolling
it's
good.
either going to be a 20 or a 1, and that's not fun.
Just do it.
No.
YOLO.
History. 13.
Yes, they look very similar. They're not exactly the same. There are some styling differences and things like that, but it's the same concept.
Okay. I'm gonna speak up. I believe I know where we were headed.
Where is that?
Where I was being held as a prisoner.
I thought we were supposed to be headed to Luskin. Wait,
Or
did
didn't
say
you find
prisoner?
me? Yes.
Yes, you were.
There was
oh, you-
one of those people that we were with earlier was a human. Doll, did you hear them when they were speaking about? Because the rest of them left with the one that was a human. I recognized that one of them was a human because I saw the others at the shift change. I recognized that one of them was not an elf.
Yeah, they were all the ones that left were all. They all appeared to be human, and they were all speaking human.
Well, they were speaking in a language I didn't understand.
The
when
ones
they
that-
did the when they did the
Oh, when they left, right.
when they left, they were speaking in common still.
Okay, sorry. Did they say anything about that?
The only thing they said was that they were glad they were gone. Now they can get on with their mission.
They were going to a place.
But they didn't say anything about the human himself.
Not that I recall.
Are you sure there's not something in your memory about the human being a prisoner or anything?
I don't remember anything like that.
Then, well,
Okay. Tim, you want to help jog his memory? You don't have to.
Did they?
They
I'm just
mentioned-
going back through my notes because I
Yeah.
wrote down how he said it.
the only notes I took down from that exchange was the city that they were headed to.
Yeah.
That was the initial exchange. But when he
As they
spoke with Dahl,
said it.
he said, "Now that we have that human gone, that prisoner or whatever, that we can speak freely in our language."
I thought he only
Yes.
said now
He
that the
said-
human's gone.
He said,
That's-
"Now that the human they're taking to Chednasat is gone, we can finally stop speaking."
Oh, I guess I
Yeah,
just assumed it was a prisoner.
No, he didn't say he was a prisoner. Yeah, I was wondering where you got that.
From his butt.
So I'm sorry, but I don't recall that.
Right. But you did recall them saying they could speak in this language now that he was gone.
That is correct.
I'm going to deduce that perhaps that human was a prisoner of theirs, and they were
Yes.
actually escorting him to a city, and perhaps that is the city that you're thinking of, Ash.
Right, so Chednasat is where I was, and that is a place we should stay very, very far away from.
I agree. But I feel like we were heading to
is-
Luskin still. And I think these documents were
Right.
important to that. So we should
So-
turn around and head back to Neverwinter to Lannibar and see if these are of any use. Because at this point, I don't think it would be wise for us to move on to Luskin. Plus, I don't know how we would get there.
I
The
don't
only way
know.
back is
Anyway.
back.
Luskin hates us.
Ash, what's so bad about Chednasat?
Well, it's a massive city underground, slave city. Lots of guards, lots of cells. And this queen, ruthless, beautiful drow. There were spider webs everywhere, so I assume that's where our recently deceased friend here came from. It's nothing we can handle right now. It's you know, if we were to go there, it would be 7 people who don't speak their native language against an army.
So we
Do you
should
think
go.
Bliss is from down here?
I agree, Koros. We should go back.
Yes.
Agreed.
Well,
Yeah, we should head back, but I still want to know about.
I just kind of growl innocent. Just, "Rawr." Still a bear.
I'm like,
Yeah, you're
"Whoa,
still a bear.
I forgot you were still a bear.
Um,
I'd like to think
Sorry.
everyone's kind of, oh.
Who you think? Who's from down here?
That Bliss dude.
Sorry, there was.
The
Bellis.
Bellis.
gray man.
Oh,
the
Bellis.
Bellis guy.
He said he was from Aventine.
Right.
You
So
think that's down in these spots?
yes, he's never been above ground before.
I have an idea. We should send him back through the hole.
Through what?
The hole we
Would-
came to.
right.
We should
Would
just
we-
put him down here.
I mean,
No,
and let
where
him
we
go.
can, but he
no,
doesn't. He wouldn't know how to get back to his house from here. Home,
he
whatever,
might, but
cave.
this seems like a dangerous path.
Hey, but these bags of food are probably his style, so we could bring these to him.
I'm sure he would appreciate that.
We
Yes.
could also get all the bags of food and stuff on the little
You
dudes
can
that
have
we
all
killed.
mine. It's disgusting.
All right, we'll have to save the wizard. Let's go
All
back
right,
to
Please.
Neverwinter.
Yes.
So
And
you
we follow
guys
the yellow brick
begin-
road.
You guys begin heading back in the direction that you came.
Yeah.
Koros, based on your survival check, you were able to more or less keep a pretty. You have a pretty good sense of where you're going back to. As you travel along, you are picking kind of the where tunnels split off and things like that. You're picking the ones that you are like 99% sure is the right one based on where you just came from. As you're traveling back, you first of all, you guys all realize that it's nearing the end of probably the end of another day. You can't tell because you're underground, but you're getting pretty exhausted and get that feeling of like it's getting pretty tiring. Do you want to stop and make a camp, or do you want to try to push through?
We should sleep. We should rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us could probably
At this
use a
point,
rest.
I probably would have had to have changed back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the sake of time, let's just go ahead and do a quick watch. Let's just do first and second. Who's doing first? Who's doing second?
I'll do first.
Yeah, I'll do second then.
Okay. Go ahead and make your perception checks for your watches while everyone else takes a break.
22.
9.
The time that you guys are resting passes more or less without an incident. Go ahead and all take a long rest. And you guys pick back up and continue moving. The first thing that you notice as you begin to pick up and continue moving, you walk for a good what feels like probably about 30 minutes or so, you make two decisions based on what tunnels you're going down and whatnot. And suddenly, almost without warning, those of you who are still shapeshifted all simultaneously drop your shapeshift and return to your normal appearance.
Thank God.
Nope. Something just happened to Draelai.
Agreed.
Wait, does that mean anyone who had dark vision loses it?
Yes.
Who doesn't have dark
I'll
vision?
That's
I'll
Dahl and
put- I'll-
Adon.
Oh, okay. Nom Nama has dark vision.
Does
I
Nana have dark vision?
I'm gonna cast it on myself. I had been kind of following. I'm gonna assume I casted it in the morning. Then, so no.
You have a dark vision spell?
Yeah, I have it's level 2 dark vision.
Oh,
It's an 8-hour
So,
spell.
I didn't see
So-
that. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, so do I.
Okay.
What?
Cool. All right, so you guys are able to do that. Adon more or less is able to follow you pretty easily.
Hold his hand.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
keep
pretty
the I'll
much.
keep the light cantrip on me.
Perfect.
so I
He
can- he
follows
can see.
Edmund,
You're my
just
only
fine.
friends.
So you guys continue moving on. That being said, Koros, make one more survival check just to see how well you're following this path back.
Oh no, where'd it go? Oh, let's roll this one.
We'll call that
Ooh,
one.
that was a good one. 24.
I'm glad Koros remembers because I just rolled a 5.
As Edwin has more or less at this point kind of had a couple places where he's been like, I don't know which one's right. Koros just steps up, it's that one. And so Edwin is essentially just kind of following Koros's lead at this point. You guys travel on for another couple hours, or at least it feels as a couple hours. And at this point, Koros, as you're walking along, the little spider sense that you have in the back of your head that kind of points you in the direction of the creature that you marked fades and disappears from your mind.
Ooh.
Where was he?
He was more or less in front of you, back the direction that you were headed.
By creature, you mean Cyrek, right?
Yes.
We need to pick up the pace.
Is anything going on?
I think Cyrek is dead.
What?
Why? Why do you think that?
Because I know where he is. Let's go.
I start jogging.
Okay.
And I pick up Nom Namo so he can keep up.
I just look
Alright.
grateful.
So you guys pick up the pace and you carry on for some time longer. You'd guess probably in the neighborhood of 30 to 40 minutes or so from that point, moving on at a much quicker pace than previously. You feel like you've made pretty good progress at this point, remembering that you had basically been on your second rest going into it. You figure that you might be able to, at this point, make it back to the end of the tunnel before you guys have to rest again. But at this point, as you kind of round one of the corners of a tunnel, you see in front of you a sight similar to what you saw before, but with an eerie difference. Before you, as you turn this corner and kind of slow down at the sight of them, stands a group of 5 pale dwarves, dressed very similar to those you had seen before, except that something seems to be kind of missing. They're wearing that chainmail, the plate, and the big pickaxe and stuff like that. But their eyes, though wide open, are rolled back in their head, showing only spheres of solid white and rivers of dried mucus and blood that originate at their noses disperse into their mustaches and beards. And they are currently walking towards you very, very slowly. As you guys come around this corner, you kind of slow down to a stop at the side.
Undead dwarves.
Hey, they're pretty short. You guys just want to jump over?
I'm sure we could do that, but I think we might have to take care of these.
I don't like what that is.
Right.
That's scary.
Do they respond to anything
Can-
like when I say hello?
Do you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like-
They don't respond whatsoever. They're basically just arms at their sides. Those that are slightly shorter are kind of dragging their pickaxe on the ground. The ones that can actually reach, and they're basically just kind of walking slowly towards you
If
And
you
more or
come any
less
closer,
in
I'm
a-
gonna kill you.
in a straight row.
If you come any closer, I'm gonna kill you.
I do not know if they wish harm.
Adon, don't you have a way of possibly dealing with something, some creature of this nature?
Hey, I think I do, but look back there. And as he says that, he points back at them, and you look probably about 40 to 50 feet behind them. You can see two roughly humanoid figures behind them and levitating about a foot off the ground. Each one is wearing black, very, very dark black robes with basically a plate of metal across the top of their torso up to their shoulders. Their arms come out into a blue, basically like hand with very long, sharp claw-like fingers. They have a cloak that hangs off their back and near their neck, kind of sticks up in this kind of shape up around their head. Their head being a kind of a bulbous shape that gets much bigger at the top and down towards the bottom of their face. They have two eyes, and instead of having a mouth and a chin, have just a blank section where the mouth should be, and four large tentacles protruding from the bottom of their chin.
What?
Oh,
Not
And they're-
playing
no.
around anymore.
Two side by side, floating about
No.
50 feet
You're,
behind.
you're,
No.
you're
the
joking.
dwarves.
I'm gonna start slapping Eddie on the shoulder. Eddie,
I'm
do
gonna-
the thing. Kill him. Do it.
Sure, that-
I'm just
Do it.
really quick gonna cast True Strike at the elf or the dwarf.
do what
Okay.
thing? What are they?
Do
So-
the lightning. Do the lightning.
No,
Okay,
no.
As you begin to cast True Strike towards the dwarves, let me pull up your True Strike real quick so we can
Oh my
solve this
gosh.
real fast.
No.
Is that a
Would
So-
so
Cantrip.
target's defenses? Yep, got it. Let me pull up his defenses real quick.
so as a druid, I would classify a
Do they know where we're at? I mean, they can see us, right?
Yeah.
Big
Oh,
Tim.
you,
Okay.
you definitely get the idea that they know where you are. Hold on one second. I want to give Koros. I want to resolve that real quick since he'd get that instantly.
so as a druid, I would consider things like a mind flayer unnatural and an abomination. So I should know of things like that. Would I recognize these?
Hold on one second while let me resolve Koros' thing real quick.
2 mind
So
flares.
Koros, what you get from you did it on the dwarf, right?
Yep. I
Okay,
can't
so
reach. I can't reach to the other guys.
what you get from the dwarf is armor class 16, hit points 26, damage resistance poison.
Okay.
That's essentially all that you would get. Namo, what is your thing that you're referencing? I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I want to know if I recognize these right away because I'm just reading about I was just reading about druids. They consider and hate unnatural aberrations, and they consider mind flayers
Gotcha.
one of them. So that would be like an unnatural thing that a druid might know about. Like,
Gotcha.
what I
Roll
recognize right away.
make
That's
a history check, and let's just see what you know.
It's not terrible. 14.
14. You recognize it.
This is not good, vision travelers. These are
Uh,
mind
no,
flayers.
no, what is it?
At this point, Sorry,
Mind
go ahead.
flayers.
At this point, immediately after Nom Nomo saying that and Koros simultaneously casting his spell on one of the dwarves, you watch as the dwarf that he casts that spell on kind of its gaze kind of snaps towards Koros, and you hear a super loud crack in his neck as his head cracks to the side. And almost in unison, a few seconds after that, the other four next to him do a very similar crack to their head and kind of contort their bodies slightly, and all five immediately begin to lunge forward towards your group. This is
Eddie,
where
I'm gonna need you to do the thing. I don't want to do this anymore.
This is
Where
where
we end.
we would roll for initiative, but we will pick this back up on
No.
Mind flares, Tim.
Dude.
Oh,
You're
no.
throwing mind flares at us. Level 6.
Is that a bad thing? I don't know.
Mind
That's
flares
not a good
are
thing.
like one of the poster children of D&D.
Oh, I know that. I know like Baldur's Gate 3 is all about mind flares, but like what? Why is it hard? Are they
They're
hard
just,
to kill?
they're, from what
They're-
Or are they like in-game things?
I guess you'll find out on Thursday.
I don't want to give away too much.
Then
I'm
don't.
not going to give away anything at all, actually, because
Yeah, if you don't like spoilers, don't. Look
I'm not
into
going
it.
to say anything. I'm just letting it be known that I'm freaking out.
That's not good.
Wow, sweet. Fun. That'll be cool. Next time, just like starting off by rolling initiative.
Nope. I'm out next week. Nope, not doing it.
All of a sudden, I'm going to be sick on Thursday.
Oh,
I want to roll a new character now.
Jack's gonna come back on Thursday and be like, "What did you guys do? We're underground and there's mind flayers."
Oh,
I don't like this.
As soon as you started saying the collar, I was like, oh man. I was like, he's not gonna do that. It's gonna be
I
something
heard
else.
tentacles, and then
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah,
That was
I'm,
it.
I'm
No, I was
glad
like-
you recognized what it was as I was saying that.
I'm not happy.
Crap.
So, just for reference, or just so I know, Koros was on the right way back to where we came from, right? He didn't get lost.
Was extremely confident that it was the right way back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we didn't get off on some weird path, and
We don't know that.
Koros
for
was
Get lost.
extremely- Koros was
doesn't
extremely
seem
confident that
so.
you didn't.
okay.
It's not even that it
No.
seems so. It's
he
that
was.
Koros is reassuring you that he remembers this is the right way back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a
He could-
bounty hunter.
He convinced me.
Oh man.
Good job, Tim.
No, I'm
No.
super anxious to see now because
You
I'm
know
like,
what, but
at first I
I'm
was
great.
like, okay, well, I bet you a giant attack happened. That's what would
That was my
Make that
first
guy-
thought.
make that guy lose his concentration, and also why celiac would be dead. But
Celiac disease.
yeah,
It,
No,
but
I
now
think
I'm like, mind flayers? What in the world's happening? That's weirder than a
Yeah.
grizzly bear showing up.
says the druid.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna
Like-
close out this stream.
this is gonna be a nightmare to go.